Good evening and welcome to Lower Columbia College in Longview, Washington. David Story Field on a beautiful Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. Game time set to start at 6:35 p.m. My name, as you know, is Zach Smolin. Here to take you through all the action between your Cowlitz Black Bears and the visiting Wenatchee Applesox. Now the Black Bears coming off a 1-2 road trip against Corvallis were this close to taking them down for the first time in a series since 2017. They won game number 2 by a score of 10-1 and led in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs by 1 run, and then the bullpen just couldn't quite hang on. The Black Bears would lose by a score of 6-4 in the last game of that set, but they had yesterday off as a team, although, of course, a lot of guys chose to work out and lift anyway, but they got all refreshed. They were out here ready to work today, and they are set and ready to go to bring you some action today at home as we have our ceremonial first pitch coming out. Ooh, a lefty, and he throws a strike to Case Ogata. Very nice to see right here. So let's get into some quick housekeeping things after lauding that beautiful first pitch. The Black Bears are 8-5-1 on the season, 4-5 in the West Coast League. They are in 4th place in the South Division, 2.5 games behind the leaders, but they're not too far back. The Portland Pickles are a game ahead of them in 3rd place at 5-4, and then Ridgefield and Corvallis are both tied at 8-4 at the top. So if the Black Bears can make something happen here in their 6-game homestand, where they'll have 3 against Wenatchee and then 3 against Bend, they can really position themselves well moving forward in the first half. Now the Applesox come in at 6-6. They've played 3 more games than the Black Bears. They're also 2.5 games back in their division, and they've gotten off to a bit of a slow start when it comes to bringing the bats around. This season, Wenatchee are just hitting .205 as a team when it comes to hitting the baseball, and they have a ERA north of 4.5. So the Black Bears should be able to score against them and hold them down, especially with the arm of Carson Engeroth. The Umpqua Community College right-hander stands at 6'2", 200 pounds from Salt Lake City, Utah, and he's having himself a really nice season thus far. He's 1-0, including non-league games, with a 2 ERA. He has struck out 7 in his 9 innings. And he also has 5 walks and 1 hit batter, a 1.33 whip for him on the season as he's warming up against, with Wilson Weber, and he'll face off against this Wenatchee starting lineup. Justin Simpson is the second baseman. He'll lead off with Michael O'Hara, the right fielder, hitting second. Batting third is Adam Grove, the shortstop, with Tino Bethencourt, the third baseman, cleaning things up. John Newman Jr. will DH and hit fifth with Aiden Selfridge in left field. Batting sixth, hitting seventh is Mark Stewart, the catcher, with Reese Stapp, the first baseman, in the 8th spot. And batting ninth is Enzo Apodaca, the center fielder. So Simpson, a left-hander, steps in the box wearing the number 33. He's hitting .429 on the season, 3 hits and 7 at-bats. And the first pitch from Engeroth misses downstairs for a ball, and we are underway here at 6:34 p.m. Pacific time. Simpson actually a switch hitter batting from the left-hand side as he misses in. Engeroth does, falls behind 2-0. So Simpson with 3 walks on the season as well. This is only his 4th game with the team. Wearing the high socks up there and forming a low strike zone as the fastball by Engeroth is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike coming up to the left-hander. Now, the thing with Engeroth is, like every starter really for this Black Bears team, loves to throw a lot of strikes, but just misses down and away. The count 3-1. The man calling those balls and strikes today will be Jordan Smart, and in the field is Eric Swift. And the 3-1 is low, ball 4. So Simpson, a guy that's good at drawing walks, and does that right here. It's his 4th walk in his 11th plate appearance for this team. So now we'll get another left-handed bat, and Michael O'Hara comes up here. He does not have the high socks on. O'Hara hitting 6 for 12, 500 with a couple ribbies and 2 doubles. And it's his 4th game for the Applesox. Simpson has already stolen 4 bases on the year as a strike is taken by O'Hara on the inside corner, count 0-1. His team has 32 steals and 39 tries, so Wenatchee will try to run against the young Wilson Weber, the Oregon State commit behind home plate. No balls, one strike. Engeroth snaps over, and Arboleda just able to stop it and prevent it from going over down the line or up against the wall. So good stop there. That's something that Cowlitz was working on before the games. They're working on their pickoff moves and all the different situations that the pitchers and fielders will be in with runners on base. So Arboleda clearly benefiting from that. As the 0-1, swing and a miss by O'Hara. No balls and 2 strikes. Wenatchee are wearing navy blue jerseys with Wenatchee written across the front in red block letters trimmed in white. Also some gray accents along the sleeves and on the oblique sides. Red letters on the back trimmed in white as well. Gray pants with 1 dark black stripe going down the side, and navy blue socks with dark caps with red bills, and the Wenatchee Applesox baseball diamond with the Apple logo displayed on the top. They also have navy blue batting helmets. As Engeroth's 1-2, fired up and away, missed with the fastball, tried to get the swing there, and could not get that done. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cowlitz, on the other hand, wearing their green jerseys trimmed in orange with the Cowlitz Black Bears claw and baseball logo in orange and white. Also numbers on the back in white, trimmed in orange. White pants with a thick black stripe going down the outer left and right pant legs. Green socks and green caps with the Cowlitz C in the middle, filled out with an orange Black Bears. This is fouled down the line. And Nishida going to sprint over, but Dawson Martin's going to beat him to it. I mean, Nishida's got the speed probably to run over to Kelso and back and still be back in time for the next pitch. So O'Hara, 2 balls, 2 strikes against Engeroth. Simpson with a decent lead off the bag at first as Engeroth misses down and inside. Looked like he went with a changeup there and fills the count up 3-2. So before going into Corvallis, the Black Bears were on a 5-game unbeaten streak and now have won 1 of their last 3. Looking to pick it right back up here as he throws over, and not in time. Arboleda able to put the glove on it. Let's meet your Cowlitz Black Bears defense out here on a Tuesday. Johnny Radomski is in left with Brock Mortensen, the new center fielder from UC Santa Barbara. Jacob Stinson is in right field. Rico Nishida's at third with Matthew Schwartz at short. Matty Fung at second base and Kerry Arboleda manning first. Behind the plate is Wilson Weber with Carson Engeroth on the mound as O'Hara fouls this one away, and over on the left side, that's going to land near the parking lot. Count remains full, 3-2. And O'Hara's got that shin guard on the right shin. Engeroth looking for a ground ball or a strikeout here. Runner goes 3-2. That pitch is a little high, ball 4. So Weber thought about throwing but didn't have to. And Michael O'Hara will trot on over to first for free. Back-to-back walks from Engeroth to get things started. And coming into this game, Engeroth had walked 5 in his 9 innings, but still not his best command so far to start this game. So here comes Adam Grobe. He leads the team in, well, pretty much everything. He's hitting .341. His first over qualified batters. 41 at-bats, 14 hits, 6 runs scored, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 11 runs batted in. First pitch to the righty is a fastball strike right down Main Street. And the count 0-1 to Grobe. And this is a difficult place to hit the ball out if you're a right-handed hitter, as he hits this one the other way. Hooking foul, racing over his Stinson. He's got speed. Arboleda there too, but they'll run out of room as that'll land in the Applesox bullpen. Down on the right field side. This summer, make sure the count now, no balls and 2 strikes to Grobe. Grobe has struck out 9 times in 41 at-bats. His team does strike out quite a bit, 111 times in their 12 games. That's 9 1/4 per contest. 2 on, 2 speedy base runners on with Grobe at the plate. Here's the 0-2, and Engeroth misses high with the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The wind's starting to really whip out towards right field, going from left to right. And now coming in a bit as well from left center. Swirling a bit. Breaking ball, swing, and a missed strike 3. Engeroth needed that one. And the curveball spot him falls right out of it, and he picks up the first out of the inning with the strikeout on Grobe as Tino Bethencourt will come on up. Bethencourt, 8 for 33, 7 runs scored, 3 homers and 9 runs batted in, but 13 strikeouts. Now Wenatchee hitting .208 on the season, averaging 4.5 runs per game. But a very low batting average team. The Cowlitz Black Bears, by comparison, hitting .220. As Engeroth looks back, Fung jumps in there, but the throw is not in time. So O'Hara leading off the bag. Shadowing him is Arboleda. Simpson leads off second, about 15 feet away from second base, as the first pitch from Engeroth just a little bit low and away, 1-0. And Jordan Smart establishing his strike zone early. Going to be a little bit higher than usual if he remains consistent throughout the game. And hey, most umpires are. From the very get-go, they'll keep it pretty steady as the 1-0 comes in, and that's above the belt. 2 balls and no strikes. Every single Black Bear is out there on the top step, including the coaches, except the ones in the field. Some you like to see early on in the game. The Applesox do not have that. They have a few guys sitting down as the 2-0 from Engeroth is off the handle of the bat and fouled away. That's going to land over somewhere on the campus pathways here at LCC. So 2 balls and 1 strike coming up to Bethencourt. Engeroth, after back-to-back walks, was able to get a strikeout on Adam Grobe. So far, 2 of the 3 true outcomes in more modern baseball has occurred. Of course, the other one's a home run, which he'll try to, of course, mitigate here. As this is drilled into center field. Mortensen, though, right there to make the grab, and he sends him down for out number 2. And again, that's those whipping winds here in Longview. You're going to have to hit the ball as hard as you ever have before in order to send one deep into left or center field. So now we will see John Newman Jr. making his 3rd appearance. He's the DH today. Just 1 for 4 to start things off with a strikeout and a walk. Right-hander waggles the bat around his ear, and time called by him. That pitch certainly would have been a strike by Engeroth. Very late time call here, and yeah, that call was much to the dismay of the Black Bears bench. So Engeroth will probably have to do that again. Engeroth with 21 pitches so far, just 10 for strikes, but he's really rallied back after the first 2 batters. And now the first real pitch to him is a little flare into right center, and that's going to split the outfielders for a base hit. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Here comes Simpson. He will score. O'Hara's going to park himself at 3rd. It's an RBI double for John Newman Jr., his first extra base hit of the season. And the Wenatchee Applesox take an early 1-0 lead.
Serve the community and a partner for Peace Help Sundays. It's 5 radio
well, that ball went a lot farther than it originally looked out there. It looked like it was just going to kind of drop in front of Mortensen and Stimson, but instead really goes a long way. And now the Applesox in position to score again with 2 in scoring position and Aiden Selfridge at the plate. First pitch to him, a big hack and a foul tip into Weber's glove, 0-1. Selfridge hitting just 115, just 3 hits in 26 at-bats, has scored 3 times and driven in a run while walking 3 times. Also 12 strikeouts for him. That's 3rd on the team behind Bethencourt and Flynn. As he grounds one over to 3rd, Nishida's there. Takes a big crow hop, fires to 1st, and retires him for the final out of the inning. But Wenatchee able to get themselves on the board. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 1st inning with the Black Bears trailing by 1, and Cowlitz coming to bat. You are tuned into Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube. Warming on the mound for the Applesox is Cole Hatton from St. Martin's. He's 5'11", 180 pounds from Greenland, Washington. He's 0-0 on the season with a 3.37 ERA and 6 strikeouts to his name. The hard-throwing right-hander will face off against this lineup for your Cowlitz Black Bears. Riku Nishida, the third baseman, will lead things off with Jacob Stinson in right, hitting second. His father's also at today's game. Brock Mortensen's in center, hitting third. He had a sensational season for UC Santa Barbara this year. In 61 games, hit 15 home runs. Kerry Arboleda cleans things up at first base with Sean Mulcair, the DH, hitting fifth. Matthew Schwartz will play shortstop and hit sixth with Matty Fung, the seven-hitter, at second base. Johnny Radomski's in left field in the 8th spot, and batting ninth is Wilson Weber. Nishida off to a great start for Cowlitz, hitting .385, including non-league games. 5 hits and 13 at-bats. 6 walks, though, the big number in there, as well as reached base 11 times out of 19. Hatton making his second start of the year. The righty fires and hits that outside corner. Count 0-1. Nishida also already with a trio of stolen bases. He's a guy that the Black Bears love having, and he's an easy guy to pencil in right at the top of the lineup each and every game as Nishida swings through that off-speed pitch, and he knew it. Right as he started his swing, you could see he makes a quick little smirk there, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Hatton won his, or rather in his first game, through 5 innings of scoreless ball against Portland to pick up the save. Walked 3 batters, struck out 4, and then against Bellingham in a game that his team would end up winning. He threw 3 innings but allowed 3 earned runs on 3 hits, 3 walks as well, so a bit of an up-and-down season to get started for him as Nishida fouls this one away. No balls and 2 strikes. So no pitches off the plate so far from Hatton, but Nishida with a very good eye up there. Here's the 0-2 and swung on. This is going to be a tight foot race. Simpson picks it up, has to get it out early, and just in time sends Nishida down for the first out of the inning, but he's the type of base runner that can get over to first base on a ground ball to second. We've seen him do it at least once in this young season. As Jacob Stinson will come up. His dad, Mike, is here today to watch him. He also was out in Corvallis as well in the rubber game of that series. Here to support. Also a big fan here on KEDO and on YouTube. So welcome him to the ballpark as the first pitch to Stinson misses low. 1-0. Stinson counting non-league games, hitting .333, 8 hits and 24 at-bats. 5 runs scored, a couple runs batted in for him as well. Left-handed hitter standing fairly tall in the box with a slight knee bend. As the 1-0 on the way. Swing and a miss. That's that off-speed pitch that Hatton got Nishida to swing at. And he catches Stinson as well. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Brock Mortensen waiting on deck, a big left-handed hitter. Supposed to add a nice power bat into the middle of the Black Bears order. Here's the 1-1. And it misses low to Stinson, and he'll take his walks. 2-1 due up for him as Stinson in his last game for against Corvallis was 4 for 4 with a double, couple runs scored, run batted in, and a walk as well. He was 5 for 5 in getting on base. Next one to him. Popped up, sky high over on the right side. Simpson and Stapp both calling for it, but the first baseman will be right there and will make the catch for out number 2. So with 2 down, Mortensen due up. Here is the Wenatchee defense. Aiden Selfridge is in left with Enzo Apodaca in center. Michael O'Hara mans right field. From first to third in the infield, we have Reese Stapp, Justin Simpson, Adam Grobe, and Tino Bethencourt with Mark Stewart behind the plate and Cole Hatton on the mound. So here's another lefty, Brock Mortensen. 3 consecutive left-handed hitters for Cowlitz to start off against the right-handed thrower. First pitch to him, bounds once in front of the plate, 1-0. Mortensen, also a football player at UC Santa Barbara. Plays a little running back and special teams for him. Yeah, he certainly has the size for it, that's for sure. Next pitch to him is in a similar spot, down inside. 2 balls and no strike. First time that Hatton's really fallen behind a batter. And Mortensen had a sensational season this year for UC Santa Barbara as he lines one right up the middle, and that's going to drop in front of Apodaca for a base hit. So welcome to the Black Bears, Brock Mortensen, and he lets himself right in with a base hit as Kerry Arboleda going to step up to the plate. Arboleda struggling a bit to start the year, but still a guy the Black Bears really trust. There's plenty of reason to trust him. I mean, he had a good year for Orange Coast over this spring. 5 homers, 20 runs batted in. This season for Cal, it's 4 hits and 24 at-bats. Couple of runs batted in. He's hitting 167 with a walk in there as well. Runner on first with 2 away. First one to Arboleda is down and outside. Pretty much the same spot that he was yanking the ball to Mortensen, except it was down and in to him because he was a lefty. So once again, Hatton falling behind. 1 ball and no strikes. Mortensen with some long legs over there. Nice big stride and a 10-foot lead off the bag at first. As ooh, this one is up and into Arboleda. And he's able to take it. 2 balls and no strikes to him. Up next is Sean Mulcair. He's going to DH today, as the Black Bears are now completely saturated with really just infield talent all over the place. But Mulcair will get his hacks as the lefty as a DH today. And now the 2-0 to Arboleda. Misses high near the letters, count now 3-0. So Hatton, who got off to such a nice start, now falls behind 3-0. He's thrown 14 pitches, but just half of them have crossed the plate. Arboleda looking to knock in his 3rd run of the season. A hit in the gap will do so with the speed of Mortensen over at first base. Here's the 3-0. Get me over fastball. Paints the outside corner. So now we're in here at 3-1. So Hatton now in a 3-1 count, looking to bounce back. Delivers. Swung on, a chopper over to second base. Simpson going to take it himself, step on the bag, and retire him for the final out of the inning. The Black Bears do not score on 1 hit, no errors, and leave 1 man aboard. We are through 1 inning here at David Story Field, and we will head over to the top of the 2nd inning. The Black Bears trailing by 1, and Wenatchee coming to the plate. You're tuned into Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube.
All right, ready? On your mark, get set, go. Kaysen lost out really early, but Claire and Emery are doing really good. Keep going, keep going. Oh, Emery's our winner. Good job, guys.
Good job, Emery. Number 6, Mark Stewart.
Back at it in the top of the 2nd inning here at David Story Field. Mark Stewart going to lead off for Wenatchee as he fouls one away right next to the Cowlitz Black Bears on deck circle. And he falls behind 0-1. Stewart is today's starting catcher, making his home behind the plate, a tall right-handed batter. As Engeroth kicks, delivers, and misses down and away, 1-1. Now, Engeroth walked 2 batters, and it was just the 1 hit on the board that allowed the run to come in to score. But it looks like his control is starting to come back a little bit here after falling on the wrong side of that ball-strike ratio in the 1st inning. This is a grounder, and it's going to shoot through the left side and into left for a base hit. So Radomski will scoop it up, fire it in, and that's a leadoff single
Number 24 here
for Mark Stewart as Reese Stapp going to make his way up. Stapp in his 6th game, but he's only got 7 at-bats and 11 plate appearances. He's 2 for 7, hitting .286 with a run batted in. Also struck out 3 times. And he's a left-hander against the right-handed throwing Engeroth. First pitch from him, misses high and away. 1-0 coming up to Stapp. Now, that was the issue with Angeroth in the beginning of the game. The two batters that he walked were both lefties, and maybe having a little bit of a difficult time locking in with batters on that side of the plate. Runner on first is Stewart. Takes a little hop off the bag as Angeroth misses in with the fastball. 2-0. Stewart does not have a stolen base on the season, even though his team's got 32 of them already. And Arboleda holding him on. Stewart about 10 feet off the bag. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Goes with the changeup that time, giving Stapp a different look, and he swings right through it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Absolutely gorgeous evening here on the campus of Lower Columbia College. We're having a great time out here. About 72 degrees and wonderfully sunny after all the rain that we got in the beginning of the season. It's really nice to see this great weather, and it's supposed to continue throughout this entire week in the whole 6-game homestand that the Black Bears will have. So if you're looking to come to the game, grab your tickets at collegeblackbears.com. As the 2-1 is down and outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, the Black Bears will have a 3-game set against Wenatchee, the second-place team in the North Division, before hosting the Bend Elks, who are currently in last place, but starting to hit a little bit better. They won their last 2 games against this Wenatchee squad. Back over in Bend as Angeroth misses high and away and walks in ball 4 is the 3rd walk of the ball game he's had, and the 3rd against left-handed hitting.
Stepping up now, number 1, Enzo Apodaca.
And Enzo Apodaca will step up. Another lefty. This is almost as many lefties as we saw against Walla Walla in the first home game here at David Story Field. A lot of left-handers stacked up against Angeroth. So they're looking for that clear platoon advantage. As the first pitch to Apodaca, a big swing and a miss in the count 0-1. Apodaca struggling to start the year, 5 for 32 in 11 games. 3 runs scored and has driven in 1 and walked 7 times. So he is struggling effectively, though, as he's found a way to get aboard. A little bit of a shorter left-handed batter, center fielder, and he's the final hitter in this Applesox order as Angeroth looks back, trying to steal an out, but Stewart back to the bag in time for him not to make that throw. Angeroth taking another look over there. Stewart shadowed by Schwartz as Carson misses away. Still 50-50 now, balls and strikes, with 17 of each of them, totaling to 34 pitches, and a 1-1 count coming up to Apodaca. So now Arboleda playing a little bit in with the left-hander up, maybe to guard against the bunt with nobody out. As Apodaca hits one in the air over into left field. Radomski racing over towards the line, into the shade, will make the grab right near the corner and put him down for out number 1. A nice run and catch by Johnny Radomski, who's back out there after not playing in the Corvallis series. Henry Mensch was out there, and you know, it was good for them to really stay with that one left fielder the entire time, because the sun was blaring out there in Corvallis each and every game. So you wanted a guy that was starting to get used to it. So now we'll see Justin Simpson, again with a big-time crouch up to the plate. He walked his first trip up and came around to score. First one to him is fouled the other way, count 0-1. And Justin Simpson, let's try that again. Take 2. And Justin Simpson, an infielder from Central Michigan and lives in Orange, California. 5'7", 170 pounds. Yeah, you can see why he squats up there at the plate, because his frame is already lower than most. And then he also squats down to give himself a smaller strike zone. Hey, it's worked, as he was walked his first time up and has also drawn 3 before that on the season. Now the next pitch misses outside, 1-1 to the leadoff man for Wenatchee. Angeroth doesn't like the first sign, is ready for the next one though. Weber sets up low, and this is fouled away by Simpson, who was late on the pitch, as that lands near the bleachers. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Angeroth looking to pick up his second strikeout of this ball game. 2 on, 1 away. the leadoff man at the plate. Angeroth takes a long look in as the left-hander digs in the box. The 1-2 breaking ball is tapped, and I'm going to say it was off his body, so a foul ball. As it went off his shin there. And he's going to walk that one off a little bit. Yeah, no matter how many times that happens to you, it never feels any better. That's one of those things as a ball player always hurts. Of course, catchers will tell you, it gets a little bit better. But, I mean, I can believe them to a degree. But getting hit with a baseball, it don't tickle. 1-2 coming up. And Angeroth delivers, misses low. Try to get him to chase on the change there. We'll even things up at 2-2 now. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you might notice that a good number of the Cowlitz Black Bears have these really cool orange arm sleeves. Yeah, those were just delivered today, and they took their team picture, and a whole bunch of guys just dug into that box and threw them on right away. So they're styling on the field. Here's a 2-2. Is low. Weber down and makes the block there. Fills the count up at 3-2 now. Wilson Weber did not play against Corvallis last weekend, but did play on Saturday and Sunday in a high school all-star showcase for Oregon. He's playing for the North squad. So he got to play before the Black Bears even arrived. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded to second, could be two. Fung flips over to second for one. They're not going to have a shot over to first with Simpson racing down the line. He saw Fung try to think about tagging Stapp, but decided to be safer to flip it over to second. So on the fielder's choice, Stapp is out. Stewart moves to third. Simpson safe at first base. And now there's two down with runners at the corners. Here's Michael O'Hara. Walked his first time up. As Angeroth looks to get out of this jam. Runners on the corners with two down. He had two men on with nobody out. Now he's picked up two quick ones as he checks his swing. They're going to call it a strike there. Actually, they're going to say that he fouled that one off. Yeah, it looks like it hit Weber there on the play. No balls in the strike with the lefty O'Hara at the plate. Stewart, the second run for Wenatchee, potential second run, just 90 feet from home as the hit and run is on. He lifts one in the air over on the left side. Nishida runs out of room, and he'll have to retreat over there. Although Nishida, he looks like the kind of guy that can just run all day and still have plenty of energy for a ball game. He is quite the Energizer Bunny over there at third base. So 0-2, Angeroth in control here. Can give him any pitch that he wants now. On deck is the three-hitter, Adam Grobe. They'd much rather, or the Cowlitz Black Bears rather, would much rather have him come up in the top of the third with nobody on than coming up with a few men on base here. Here's the 0-2, and Angeroth misses way high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes coming up from the Umpqua right-hander. The Black Bears have a winning record at home, are 4-2-1, but are 1-2 in league play at home. So looking to even that out here and keep pace and try to catch up to the leaders in the South Division. Simpson jumping off the bag. The next pitch, ooh, a nice looking one. Just off the black on the outside. Good eye by O'Hara. And we're evened up now at 2-2. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the second. Wenatchee lead at 1-0. Angeroth looking to keep it right there. Carson likes that sign from Weber. Takes a quick check on Simpson. And the 2-2. Breaking ball down and away. Fills the count up 3-2. Angeroth's already thrown 47 pitches through just 1 2/3. Definitely looking for some length out of him, although the Black Bears did have an off day yesterday. And did not use too many of their bullpen arms in the last 2 games of the series against Corvallis. As the payoff pitch on the way, runner goes, is lifted in the air to left field. Radomski is there. Retreats over to the shade, makes the grab, and sends him down for the final out of the inning. So the Black Bears put runners on the corners, but strand them right there. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard. Bottom of the second inning, coming up with your Black Bears coming to bat, and Wenatchee leading 1-0. You are tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO.
You can go ahead and rock the boat. LCU has loans for new or used boats and RVs with a rate as low as 4.49%, just in time for summer. You stop by the credit union and see a loan representative to apply for that, and take me on a ride for your boat when you get a new one, will you?
Look to tie it and do a little more with Sean Mulcair, Matthew Schwartz, and Matty Fung all coming up against Cole Hatton, who allowed a base hit to Brock Mortensen and then nothing else. So after seeing him from the bench, Black Bears will look to get around on some of his stuff. He does throw pretty hard, but this Black Bears team comes around pretty well on some fastballs. So as long as Hatton doesn't have an absolutely filthy breaking ball, which not to say the Black Bears can't hit them, but if he's really only throwing that fastball, you'll see the Black Bears putting some runs up on the board. So far, Angeroth's done pretty well. He's having trouble with the walks, but he has stranded 4 base runners. So he's wiggled his way out of the damage. Now the Black Bears will look to create some traffic of their own on the base path, starting off with Sean Mulcair. Mulcair counting non-league games, hitting, oh, that was Shores. Here we go. It's hitting .276, 8 hits and 29 at-bats, 6 runs scored, 4 driven in, a couple of walks, and a home run for the left-hander. Now, that was on the road in Ridgefield, and this is a left-handed hitter's ballpark as the wind is coming blowing in and left, but doesn't have too much of an issue and doesn't hinder lefties as much over on the right field side if they can pull it. And Mulcair certainly likes to pull the ball, does not have a base hit the other way this year. So Hatton pitching from the windup, stands straight up towards the home plate as he misses low to Mulcair, 1-0. And that's a pitch that he was missing with a lot today, trying to challenge the lefties low and inside. He ends up yanking that pitch and hitting the dirt. See if the Black Bears recognize that and can take advantage, maybe stay a little more patient at the plate. And the 1-0 comes on in, and it's a fastball that misses off the black on the outside edge, and the count 2-0. The Applesox looking to send down the Black Bears again this inning, as the next one to Mulcair is down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, over the history between these two teams, Wenatchee have had the edge, as both of these teams have been in the West Coast League since its inception. So far, the Black Bears are 16-23 against this squad from Wenatchee, as the 3-0 is down and away, ball 4. So Mulcair will trot on over to first. A leadoff walk for Cowlitz has been business here with 1 on and nobody out in the bottom of the second.
Number 4.
And the last time that the Black Bears won the season series against the Applesox was back in 2017 when they won 5 of 6 games, including a road sweep at Paul Thomas Senior Field. So Cowlitz will want to look to get off to a good start on that goal here today if they can take this first game of this 3-game set. First pitch is downstairs to Schwartz, and the count 1-0. Schwartz hitting .323, 10 hits, 31 at-bats, 4 runs scored, and 3 driven in. One of the better hitters here, and feels right at home at Lower Columbia College. Plays his college ball. Mulcair with a nice lead off the bag. Next pitch is swung on and fouled back, and Matty Fung, the on-deck batter, going to recover that. Roll it over into his team's dugout, 1-1. Now Wenatchee have a pair of championships in the West Coast League. They won the first one in 2010 and then in 2012 as well. and also in the PIL, won in 2003, 2005, 2006, and 2009. So team with some winning pedigree as Schwartz fouls this one a little bit longer, this time down the left field side, and Jace Bailey going to give chase to get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the Applesox bounced back after their worst season in team history, or their second worst season in team history in 2018, where they went 26-28 and finished in last place in their division. And then 2019 made the playoffs, finished in second place in the North Division. Then, of course, COVID-19 hit. As Schwartz fouls another one away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with Mulcair waiting on first base. So the Black Bears have the tying run aboard and the go-ahead at the plate. Schwartz does have some pop up here. No home runs so far here as Schwartz, though, calls time, so we'll have to wait an extra second to get things going. So happy that you're sharing your Tuesday evening with us here on KDO and YouTube. And we'd love to see you at the ballpark for an upcoming home game. The Black Bears are home all week from today through Sunday as the 1-2 breaking ball slides a little too far down and outside into the left-hander's batter's box. We'll even things out at 2-2. And, of course, you can catch your tickets to Cowlitz Black Bears baseball on cowlitzblackbears.com. Hey, my friends did that coming all the way from Jersey, so why don't you do it? I know you certainly have a shorter drive. No pressure. Just think it'd be fun. As the 2-2 is tapped over to third on a big hop. They're going to try for 2. Over to second for 1, back to first. Not nearly in time as the throw goes wide and into the Wenatchee dugout. So Schwartz going to get over to second, so that play not all that bad. 5-4 on the fielder's choice, and then an error by Justin Simpson on the play. So the first defensive miscue of the ball game is committed by Wenatchee. So certainly a productive out there. As Matthew Schwartz goes over to second base. On the error, here's Matty Fung. Fung in the 7th spot today, hitting 185, 5 hits and 27 at-bats, 5 runs scored, 2 driven in. An opportunity to knock in a run for Cowlitz, a team that has struggled this season hitting with runners in scoring position. As Fung misses low and, or rather they miss low and away to Fung 1-0. Though when the Black Bears won 10-1 on Saturday, they hit .312 with runners in scoring position, went 5 for 16. And Toriano Sweet with a bunch of those hits, knocked in 4. 1 ball, no strikes. Schwartz with a 15-foot lead off the bag at second, can score on a base hit. And Fung slices one foul over on the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike coming up. Fung, a big-time opposite field hitter, loves to hit baseballs over in the left. The majority of his hits for the Black Bears have come into left field. So really practicing what Aaron Matthews, the hitting coach, preaches, trying to go gap to gap and making sure you're hitting the ball the other way, keeping the other team off balance. And they do have a nice gap between the shortstop Grobe and the third baseman Bethencourt. So even if he just shoots one on the ground, he can probably thread it through. Cole Hatton misses down and away, so now 2-1 coming up to the lefty. As there's also another big hole between the shortstop and second baseman as Justin Simpson shifted way over towards the first base bag, actually in shallow right field over there. Clearly doesn't know that Fung doesn't like to pull the ball particularly. This one off the end of the bat and above the Black Bears on deck circle, right in front of Johnny Radomski. So we'll even the count out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the last homestand, Matty Fung's parents came to all 4 games. And we know that they're supporting over the airwaves here tonight watching their son play. He'll be headed to UC Davis at the conclusion of this summer. Fung leads over the plate a little bit and takes one right at the knees, strike 3. So Fung sent down on strikes with that fastball for out number 2. So now Johnny Radomski will make his first plate appearance. 2 hits and 20 at-bats, 4 runs scored, 1 driven in for him. He's also walked once and had a sacrifice fly as well. Choked up on the bat, holds the bat. Almost completely horizontally behind his head at the plate as he shakes it a few times, gets ready for Hatton's delivery. First offering from him, a breaking ball as Radomski wisely takes low and outside. That's a tough pitch to lay off of. And the count 1-0. The reason that pitch is tough to lay off is it starts right around your belt or right on the upper part of your thighs and then darts down, but it looks like a good pitch to hit almost the whole way. But that late movement is what Radomski saw as, well, he's able to take that one even easier or more easily. As that fastball shot in near his hands, had to turn away. 2 balls and no strikes. Hatton certainly has fallen behind his fair share of batters, but the Black Bears haven't quite capitalized as much as they would have liked to so far. They have an opportunity, though, to not get a run. It's the 2-0 on the way. High and outside, 3 balls and no strikes coming up to Radomski. Plenty of action going on in the West Coast League today, and a lot of the games with big implications for the Black Bears. The Bend Elks and Bellingham Bells playing today. The Elks up 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Portland and Corvallis will square off. They're in the bottom of the first inning, all tied up at 0. And the Yakima Valley Pippins lead the Ridgefield Raptors 1-0 at Ridgefield Outdoor Recreational Complex. Hatton nails that inside corner. 3-1 now to Radomski. Much easier counts to pitch in. And I always thought 3-1 was difficult as a batter to hit in, because you don't want to swing at anything too crazy, but you can't decide whether to take and try to look for the walk or see if they groove you one. 3-1 on the way, misses low. Radomski really didn't have to think too much that time, as that might have hit home plate. He'll trot on over to first with Wilson Weber coming on up. Weber hitting 130, 3 hits and 23 at-bats, but 2 of those for extra bases. And he's also driven in a run and scored twice.
Wilson Weber.
Incoming freshman going to Oregon State. Got to check out his upcoming home for the spring over the weekend, and he has a bat with a bright Oregon Beavers orange barrel. And now Hatton kicks, fires to Weber, who jumps right on the first pitch and hits it foul. And his fellow catcher, Jacob Burley, tried to grab it in his mask over there rather than his glove. And he's having Brown University backstop, having a bit of a chuckle with his teammates down the line. No balls and 1 strike coming up to Weber. And the man they call Wheels looking to tie this game with a base hit. The runners will go. This one hops in front of home plate and into the backstop. Taking a big turn is Schwartz, but the double steal works, as the runners would have advanced anyway, but now they get stolen bases to their credit. So 1-1 count now coming up.
More applause. How about for the Black Bears?
As 2 in scoring position now, gonna just take 1 hit to probably bring in 2. So the 1-1 coming up to Weber as they set up low and outside to the right-handed hitter as he crushes one high and deep to left. There it goes, and it's off the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes a second one. He will also score. Radomski and Schwartz both in on the long RBI double by Wilson Weber, and the Black Bears take the 2-1 lead. Well,
up now is number 5.
Weber just missed a home run by about an inch there, because that fence in left is super short, and he just hit it as the ball came sinking down. That's probably one you could blame on the wind there.
Black Bears, by the way, are still looking for host families this season.
As the wind really comes in hard from left center field. So Rico Nishida going to step up now. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to Justin Simpson, but all he's got to do is stick the bat head out and clunk one right into the outfield, and bingo, he'll have himself an RBI single. So fresh count against the lefty as the Black Bears flip over their lineup here in the bottom of the second. They now lead it 2-1. First pitch, Nishida squares around the bunt, pulls it back. And actually that pitch is
Dream Dentistry offers
low for a ball, 1-0.
Find them online at
Scoreboard says 1-0, so that's what we'll take it as.
1 expert office, 1 painless visit.
Nishida, despite his size, don't let it fool you. He can hit the ball a long way. Plenty of power, plenty of speed, a very toolsy player, as they say. Also a superb fielder. And to the left-hander from Mount Hood Community College, a fastball low, 2-0. Hatton's pitch count now up to 41. And he's fallen behind in that balance of power between balls and strikes. 19 strikes to 22 off the plate. This has been a rough inning for him. Weber with plenty of speed over there at second base, even as a catcher. As the 2-0 comes in, Nishida taps one over to second. He's off and racing. Here's the throw to first, and they just get him by about a half a step to send him down for the final out of the inning. But the Black Bears come back and take the lead. They score 2 runs on one big hit by Wilson Weber and leave 1 man aboard. There's also an error in the inning. We'll be back in the top of the third with the Black Bears leading 2-1 and Wenatchee coming to bat. You are tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube.
We're going to see who can get the most in or on. Are you ready? Set, go. All right, try again. Here, scoot back a little bit. I was throwing it hard. All right, ready, go. Here, try it again. All right, ready? Go. So close. Try again, Monroe. One more time.
And she's got an arm on her. You see that?
She's throwing him a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
Try to throw lighter. Ready? Go. That's okay.
I would take a step forward. Try one more
Corby
time.
put all of Charlie's beanbags in? All right, I think that they both get to win because Corby cheated.
Well, if you cheated and made them both winners, I'm a fan. How about
Top of the third inning, in the heart of the Applesox order coming up, and Grobe, Bethencourt, and Newman Jr. And the 5-hitter Newman Jr. has knocked in the only run for Wenatchee so far. Is Carson Angeroff. Wow, I said that with a very Bostonian accent. I guess I'm hearing Sox from Applesox, and it's reminding me of my East Coast ways in the time I went to Fenway Park. But anyway, I got to remind myself, Zach, you're at David Story Field here. And a nice crowd is out here as well, coming out, enjoying the sunshine and enjoying some good Cowlitz Black Bears baseball as Engeroff will get to pitch with the lead for the first time today. Grobe 0 for 1, struck out swinging. Weber sets up down and away, and the spot is hit. This is grounded and stopped by diving Schwartz. He won't have a play, but keeps the ball from going into left field. A good stop by Schwartz, and I'm told by the Wenatchee broadcaster, this is a 7-game hitting streak now for Grobe. And yeah, not too surprising, given that he's been so good all season long with that 341 average, 2 homers and 11 ribbies coming into today's contest. So leadoff single puts Tino Bethencourt at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a line out to straightaway center field as the pitch off the outside Black misses 1-0 coming up to the right-handed hitter. Schwartz playing more towards second base for that double play ball. Fung is there as well. Nishida right next to the bag at third as this is grounded to Nishida. Oh, what a stop on the hop. Picks it up, not going to have a play, but Riku Nishida pretty much doubled his height with that jump there and kept the ball from going into left field. That might have kept Grobe at second base. But the thing with Nishida there, he went up so high that he was unable to come down with it and actually almost fell. Lost his balance. Now back-to-back base hits, that one of the infield variety, really have Wenatchee in business here. As John Newman Jr. steps up. And he hit one right on the screws into right center field to make it a 1-0 Wenatchee lead, but the Black Bears were able to get those runs back in the bottom of the second inning. We're here in the top of the third. This game's going on pretty long. We usually zoom through here at David Story, but this game almost already an hour old. Engeroff deals. Fastball strike right down Main Street. 0-1 coming up. Engeroff, that was his 52nd pitch and his 28th strike. And he's looking to really get into a groove and go back-to-back innings with a big 0 up on the board. But this time around, he'll have to do what he's done in the first 2 innings and strand 2 guys on base as the 0-1 comes in and it gets away from Weber. Weber picks it up, thinks about throwing, and can't do much with it. So that a wild pitch on him. Moves 2 into scoring position, and now Khaled's definitely in a bit of trouble with 2 men on, nobody out. And 2 guys in scoring position. So Angroth really needs a strikeout here if he can get it, and instead he steps off the rubber and decides to just get a reset up there. 1 ball, 1 strike coming up, and he deals. Misses outside with the fastball. You could tell that he released that ball fairly late, and he knew it as well. So a hitter's count to John Newman Jr. in a big hitter's situation. The Black Bears scored 2 in the bottom of the 2nd inning off a long double by Wilson Weber. Almost left the yard, but the ballpark just barely held it out there in left center field. He hit that ball about 341 feet as he hit it just to the left of the 342 sign. Two-one. In the dirt, and again, blocked by Weber. 3-1 coming up, and this is not a situation where you want to walk those bases loaded. And Angroth usually cash money out there on the mound. Struggling a bit with his command in the first 3 innings as he missed with the fastball inside. Ball 4. Another walk issued by Angroth, who only walked 5 coming into this game in his first 2 appearances, has now sent 4 aboard for free. As Aiden Selfridge will make his way up to the plate. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to Nishida his first time. The Black Bears will have a play at any base, but do their best to try to keep Grove from coming in to score. It's really going to be up to Angroth and his command as he misses downstairs for a ball 1-0, and you wonder if after this batter, if Corey Keir is going to go out and have a chat with him. Nobody warming in the Black Bear bullpen, although they are sending Jacob Burley out there. As Angroth's 1-0. That's a fastball strike on the outside corner. Angroth really needed that one. 1-1 coming up to Selfridge. And how tall is this guy? He is pretty big up there at the plate. Yeah, 6'3", 190 pounds from Los Gatos, California, and goes to Pacific University. So the 1-1 comes in, and the breaking ball a little below the knees that time. 2-1 coming up from Angroth, who's just been missing. And now we'll see some action. That's Keegan Wright starting to get going in the pen. And right through 1 1/3 innings in the first game against Corvallis, scoreless. And will probably be asked to eat up a few here if he has to come in for Angroth as this misses down and out. 3-1, and now Weber going to go out and talk to him. And Angroth just missing low often. It's coming out of his hand a little bit late. It looks like he's reaching for each pitch, as now Arbolito wants to come have a quick word with him too, but both fielders, Weber and Kerry Arbolito, will retreat back to their respective bases. As Keegan Wright looks like he's starting to get ready in a hurry out there. And the 3-1 on the way. Low and away, ball 4, 5th walk of the afternoon. An RBI walk for Aiden Selfridge brings in brings in Grobe, and we're all tied up at 2 now. As Angroth just threw a 61st pitch in 2+. Now Michael Ben's back out to the bullpen, delivering a message to Wright as Corey Keir gonna go have a chat with Angroth, and this could almost certainly be to give Keegan Wright some more time to warm up. And certainly the Black Bears weren't looking to turn to their bullpen this early, but Angroth usually incredibly effective, just a little off with his command today. Also with Jordan Smart, a strike zone that is a little tight but very consistent as well. He's been calling it the same for both sides, so nothing to complain about. And now he's going to go out there and talk, or rather go out and try to break up this deliberation of Black Bears. As, Angroth has thrown 61 pitches, 29 for strikes so far. In 2 innings, He's allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, but the 5 walks have really hurt him. So the meeting of the minds has dispersed. And Weber, whipping back the flow, the long blonde locks like Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You. A good look that he had. Also, Brock Mortensen might be challenging Weber for best hair on the team. So fresh count, here's Mark Stewart. He's 1 for 1 with the base hit. First offering to him, a fastball misses high, 1-0. As it looks like now, right, it will be ready to go whenever he's called upon. Here's the 1-0. And low, blocked by Weber. And Engeroth now having a tough time. He missed high, now missed low. Just looking to make something happen over the plate. And Cal's hoping that he does not walk Stewart here. You at least want to make him earn it now. Bethencourt on third, Newman Jr. on second as the breaking ball is in for a strike on the inside corner. 2-1. Aiden Selfridge also on first base says, yeah, maybe that's something Engeroth is going to have to do this inning. Come on in and start throwing those breaking pitches. 2-1. Throws another curve, and this one is fouled, and hooks down the left side. Even count at 2-2. Well, he looks certainly more comfortable delivering those breaking balls. Let's see if he can get one here. Wenatchee brings in a run this inning, but have not really needed a hit to get it done, as this is hit in the air over on the left side. Radomski racing over towards the foul line, but is going to run out of room. That's going to land in our concessions area. And adjacent to the Bob's Sporting Goods party deck, 2 balls and 2 strikes again to Mark Stewart.
Let's get some energy in here.
Cowlitz have tied it up at 2 with the double by Weber, or rather took the lead at 2-1, and now Wenatchee with a bases loaded walk bringing in one. On deck is Reese Stapp. Corners in here, especially Arboleda on the grass on the first base side. Breaking ball is fouled again. Now the 2-2. I think they might know that it's coming. That's 4 straight curves in a row. And this is a time where Engeroth can probably get away with a fastball that's high. He's thrown a lot of curves in the middle and the lower part of the plate. So the high fastball will change the eye level of Stewart. Let's see if he goes with that there. Weber sets up a little high, and he does go with the fastballs. This is a towering shot into left. That one's going high and deep. Radomski makes the grab at the wall. Tagging and scoring will be Bethencourt, but Mark Stewart just missed a home run by about a foot, but instead gets a sacrifice fly, bringing one in, and Wenatchee will take the lead now. It's 3-2. And again, that's those whipping winds out there in right, or rather in left field. As time now called, and yeah, Brian Burris has seen enough. They'll call it out to the bullpen here in the top of the third with 1 away. Wenatchee leading at 3-2 with 2 men on. We'll step aside here for the new pitcher to warm up. It's going to be Keegan Wright coming on in. When we come back, we will resume the top of the third inning right here on KEDO and YouTube. Hey Jacob, for this, can we get another 30 seconds? There on the mound for your Cowlitz Black Bears. He's been one of their best relievers this season. And here's the numbers that he's put up. In 6 1/3 innings, he has not allowed a run. Only scattered 6 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts in his 29 batters faced. He has a perfect 0.00 ERA and a whip of 1.42. He's also hit a batter, and he'll be tasked with trying to strand these two men on and keep Cowlitz in this game. Both runners aboard are Carson Engeroth's responsibility. And I had the good fortune of sitting next to Keegan on the bus, both to and from Corvallis. We got into chatting about pitching. He's trying to add another one, trying to work on his slider, talking to some of the other guys out here. He's had a pretty crazy journey. A couple of arm surgeries. He's pitched at 3 different colleges, but right now he said this summer he really feels like he's pitching the best he ever has. First offering to him is a strike on the outside corner in the count 0-1, and that's why his fastball command has been sensational this year. And he said he loves pitching out of the pen. And he's been super effective for this Black Bears team in that role. So the 0-1 coming in. Another fastball swing and a miss by Stapp. And the count 0-2. I'll probably see maybe 1 or 2 innings out of Wright as Michael Ben's starting to toss in the pen for the Black Bears. They usually save him for later, but it's starting to get loose. Might have to piece this one together with Engeroth only going 2 1/3 innings. Selfridge on second, Newman Jr. on third base. Wright delivers and misses just off the edge. The outside to the lefty. 1 ball and 2 strikes coming up. And Keegan Wright was a starter this season at San Diego Christian. But he said he was never really comfortable starting. Always likes coming out of the bullpen, likes these situations, and especially in the setup role that he has with the Black Bears, he said, this is something that I have a lot of confidence with, and I know I can do to help this team. 1-2. Fouled away. Off that off-speed pitch as Stapp seemed to read that one the entire way. So 1-2 still coming up. As nobody rumbling over in Wenatchee's pen, so they'll stick with Cole Hatton. He's only at 42 pitches. Wright sets, kicks, delivers 1-2, and sails high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wright pitches exclusively from the stretch, says that he feels like he gets better velocity that way, just pump and gun. And looking for a big strikeout here against Stapp, who's 0 for 0 with a walk in today's game. Lefty with his toes right on the chalk lines of that batter's box. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Keegan Wright picks up a huge strikeout here in the top of the third, sends him down, and puts the 9-man up at the plate in Enzo Apodaca.
All right, up now is number 1, Enzo Apodaca.
Apodaca 0 for 1 with a hooking fly ball in left field that was caught by Johnny Radomski. Wright would love to strand these 2 base runners. Takes a quick look over at Newman Jr., kicks, fires, and misses outside. That pitch really started to sail away from him. And the count 1-0. Good stop by Weber, though, to keep that one from going away. And the 1-0 is hit hard on the barrel, but fouled and, drops into the bleachers, but a conglomerate of fans able to stop that one and have themselves a nice little souvenir. Hey, that's why you come to the ballpark. Go to the merch tent, get some Black Bears gear, or you can wait for a foul ball. Or you can do both. So we've seen some people over there doing. Yeah, we have a great merch tent over there. Some great hats, sweatshirts. Definitely an orange sweatshirt is something I'm going to have to go over and try to get. Those will be fun for some of the cooler nights coming up this summer. As Wright's 1-1. Goes with the change and misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he knew that was just off his game. Apodaca with 2 men in scoring position, looking to knock him in as Wenatchee have taken a 1-run lead. They've grabbed the lead right back from the Black Bears here in the top of the third. And the 2-1. High and outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. That was Wright's 10th pitch and 5th ball of this game. The walk doesn't really hurt him too bad right here. will load the bases and put a force at any base, but then the lineup flips over. Wright doesn't like that first sign and then agrees with Weber here. 3-1 on the way, and the breaking ball, early release, ball 4. So walk and a strikeout for Keegan Wright as Justin Simpson will come up for the 3rd time this game. He's walked and grounded into a fielder's choice. The Black Bears will take that. Weak contact in the infield here. And Simpson's got a small strike zone. 5'7" frame, and he squats up there at the plate. A really deep, nearly 90 degrees on his knee bend. Right, first pitch, swing and a miss. Challenges him with the fastball, and the count 0-1. Now, Wright he really peaks around 91, 92, but he's got a lot of life on his fastball, so it looks like it's coming in a lot harder, and it's another thing he told me he's working on, trying to bring that velo back up, but he's doing really well with his mid to high 80s fastball. 0-1 is fouled right back, and he immediately is in control now, 0-2. Big pitch coming up early in this ball game. Top 3, 2 down, 0-2 count coming up to lefty Justin Simpson with Wenatchee up 3-2 and the bases loaded. Big deep breath, the 0-2. Just off the plate outside, much to the dismay of the umpires that paid to get in today. So now Keegan Wright comes up with the 1-2. Wind's starting to blow out a little bit farther in from left center. So fly ball out there will certainly die out. So 1-2. Takes something off, misses high, 2-2. Wright was really attacking the strike zone with those first 2 pitches. And now has missed outside and missed high. See if he'll go back with that fastball. That's just been the best pitch that he's had so far. Not worried about any of the base runners now. The 2-2. And 3-2. Down and away. Thought he had that one. Looked like it might have hit the black. But instead it's a full count. So payoff pitch coming up with the bases loaded and 2 down. Top of the 3rd inning. Keegan Wright needs to throw a strike right here. Runners go. And it's tomahawked foul. And the other way, out of play on the left side, so we'll do it all over again. The Black Bears only down by 1, just trying to keep it that way. They could have been in much bigger trouble after the first 2 innings. And Keegan Wright looking to wiggle his way out of this big-time pickle here. So another payoff coming up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Runners go again, and Wright misses upstairs, ball 4. Didn't like that call, so Newman Jr. will come on in and score. Another walk with the bases loaded, this time with a different pitcher. And a second run comes in that way as the bases now stay loaded for Michael O'Hara. O'Hara's 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout. Sailed out to Radomski, his second time up. The walk's really hurting Cowlitz today. 7 in just 2 2/3 innings as the first pitch is fouled away on the left side into the seats right behind the Black Bear dugout, 0-1. So now the Applesox have batted around. Or my mistake, no they have not. This is the 9th batter that they sent to the plate. They've scored 3 this inning as the 0-1 comes in, and this is grounded over to short. Picked up by Schwartz, who's going to go the long way to first and make the play for the final out of the inning. So the marathon inning finally ends. The Black Bears surrender 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left aboard. 4 walks in the inning was the big problem. So the Black Bears will look to get it back in the bottom of the 3rd, trailing by 2. You're tuned into Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube.
Cowlitz Black Bears Selfies brought to you this season by Dream Dentistry. 1 expert office, 1 painless visit.
Stinson, Mortensen, Arboleda due up for the Black Bears, so this is a good part of the order to send up. Trying to come back. They're only trailing by 2. And they started to come around a little bit more on Hatton in the last inning, so let's see if they can keep that momentum going. Stinson is 0 for 1. He had a sky-high pop-up to the second baseman, or rather to re-stop. My mistake. It was over more towards the second base side, but Stapp decided to run in and make the grab himself. As first baseman, he's hungry for putouts. First pitch to him is outside for a ball 1-0, and this could be one thing that plays to the Black Bears' advantage, is that Hatton was sitting on the bench for a long time, and he was already starting to lose his control a little bit in the bottom of the second. So let's see if his arms tighten up just a little bit as the 1-0 coming into Stinson, and that's a strike at the knees with the fastball 1-1. Wenatchee, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 7 left aboard. Cowlitz, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and have left 2 stranded on base in their 2 offensive innings. Right-hander Hatton takes a high leg kick, misses downstairs, though, with the pitch. 2-1 to Stinson. On deck is the new guy, Brock Mortensen. Welcomed himself to the team in his first at-bat with a base hit right up the middle. Solid line drive. Now the 2-1. Down and in, 3 balls and 1 strike. Hatton now at 46 pitches, 25 balls. And first base coach Shane McCarroll probably jealous of Aaron Matthews over on the third base side, as McCarroll absolutely getting crushed by the sun, and nice and cool in the shade as Matthews, as Stinson hits one on a line, but right at the second baseman Simpson. So Stinson to Simpson for out number 1. Here's Brock Mortensen. He's 1 for 1 with that base hit up the middle that we mentioned earlier. So we'll give you Carson Angeroth's line at the beginning of the next inning because it'll be closed up. Ben's starting to slow down in the pen. Looks like he's warm and ready to go as Mortensen hits one high and deep to left. Jacob Burley in the bullpen calling with his arms for it to keep on carrying, but again, the wind holds it in. Selfridge is there to make the grab, and Mortensen is down for the first time as a Black Bear for the second out in the bottom of the third inning.
Now, Kerry Arboleda.
And now we will get a look at Kerry Arboleda. 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice, grounded out to the second baseman. Big power bat, still looking to get clicking here this season for the Black Bears. As Hatton looks like he's re-engaged with his arsenal, but misses down and outside with the curve, 1-0. Black Bears are jumping off some of his pitches that are catching more of the plate, but this inning just hit it right at guys. And the 1-0 on the way. Arboleda takes a fastball right down Main Street for a strike, and we even things out at 1-1. And Arboleda, a tall right-handed hitter from Orange Coast College. A really nice season as a freshman. As the 1-1 on the way. Hit in the air, and that is fouled over on the right side, over into the stands there. Another souvenir, and some young fans racing over to try to grab that one. 1-2 coming up to Arboleda. We're in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. The Black Bears trail by 2, 4-2 against the Wenatchee Applesox. As Kerry Arboleda looks to put together some 2-out magic here for the Black Bears. Now the 1-2. Arboleda absolutely belts it, but it hooks foul over on the right side and will land on top of a school building right here at Lower Columbia College, so we'll keep it at 1-2. Arboleda putting together a pretty decent at-bat. Just faced 4 pitches from Hatton and fouled off the last 2. Hatton doesn't like the first one. Is ready with the 1-2. And Arboleda checks his swing. That one's down and away. Leaving it up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Black Bears are starting off a 6-game homestand here at David Story Field. The first 3 will be against the Wenatchee Applesox, and then the final 3 will be against the Bend Elks. So you can catch your tickets all week long and all season long at CowlitzBlackBears.com. Deuce is wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hatton kicks, delivers. Arboleda laces one. That's going to get through on the right side for a base hit. So that was Pat Simpson over to the right fielder, Michael O'Hara. And Arboleda putting the bat on the ball quite well to send up Sean Mulcair. Mulcair 0 for 0 with a walk. And he now represents the tying run at the plate, and he's got some power. He had a home run to right field in game number 1 for the Black Bears to kick off the Columbia River Cup against the Ridgefield Raptors. So Mulcair against Hatton. The Black Bears got another hit, their third of the ball game. And the first one to Mulcair, hit high in the air, in the infield on the right side. Hatton and Stat both there, but ultimately it's going to be the catcher Stewart to be there to make the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're a third of the way through at David Story Field, heading into the top of the 4th with the Black Bears trailing by 2 and Wenatchee coming to bat. You're tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on 99.1 FM, 1400 AM KEDO, Longview, Kelso, and on YouTube. Stick with us.
So we're going to
Michael Benz coming out to deal in the 4th inning, and no one immediately warming in the pen, so we'll probably have to get through 2 innings with him. This has become a bullpen game for the Black Bears, as we can now give you the line on 2 Cowlitz pitchers. So the first one, Carson Angeroff, made the start, and 2 1/3 innings, surrendered all 4 runs, all of them earned on 4 hits, 1 strikeout. The killer, though, with the 5 walks through 68 pitches, and exactly half of them for strikes at 34. Followed up by Keegan Wright, who threw 2/3 of an inning, 20 pitches, again, exactly half for strikes at 10. Did not allow a run of his own. Walked 2, though, and struck out 1. So Benz comes in this game against the heart of the Wenatchee order, Grobe, Bethencourt, and Newman Jr. And that was the trio that led off in the top of the 3rd. Benz has been sensational out of the pen for the Black Bears. Typically they're closer, but they're sending him in a little early today to try to slow down Wenatchee. As we see another arm warming in the pen for them as well. Benz in 9 innings has faced 33 batters, allowed just 8 hits, 1 walk, and 1 run, has struck out 7. He has a 1 ERA and a 1 whip. And he'll face off against all righties. First pitch from Benz, a breaking ball down and inside, 1-0. And Dale Takalo starting to get loose in the bullpen, so maybe Benz will just have 1 inning here. And he'll step off the rubber. Wants another look at those signs. Grobe is 1-4-2, there we go, with an infield single and a strikeout. Next pitch to him, fastball down and inside. He got him there, 1-1 coming up. The Black Bears only trail by 2, and really the walks were just a problem for them. They've only surrendered 4 hits today, have not committed any errors in the field. But the 7 walks between the first 2 pitchers in this ball game would have helped Wenatchee out a ton and are a big reason why those 4 runs are in there. 2-1 as Benz missed tie that time. Now another guy pitching exclusively from the stretch gets ready here. 2-1. Popped up behind home plate and waiting for it to drop. I guess it landed behind the press box. It's waiting for that, big clunking sound to come on down. 2-2. And Wenatchee have scored 2 runners that reached base via the walk. The other 2 reached because of hits, as now Benz misses away. Count full, 3-2. Again, Grove, Bethencourt, Newman Jr. due up for Wenatchee. Bethencourt, one of the leaders in a couple of categories, or among the leaderboards in the WCL. Has the most steals with 7 stolen bases, and also in the top 5 with his 3 home runs. 3-2 coming up from Benz, and misses inside, ball 4. The 8th walk issued by Cowlitz pitching off the 3rd different pitcher today.
Right now, Tino Bethencourt.
So here's Tino Bethencourt to the plate. He lined out and singled. Tapped one over to Nishida, who jumped in the air to stop the ball. Was at least going to try to get him out at first, but then landed too hard and a little awkwardly wasn't able to make a throw. And Grove going to have to be real careful at first. Benz has an excellent pickoff move as Bethencourt way early that time hits that one over the Cowlitz dugout. And he'll bounce back in off the netting there, 0-1. Ground ball can help the Black Bears out here. A lot of good fielders, and Nishida, Schwartz, and Fung. Also Arboleda does a nice job over at first base. Benz taking a peek to first. Next pitch is lined and on a hop to Fung. Picks it over, throws it over to second, and they're going to call him safe as Schwartz cannot hang on. So that'll put 2 men on as the error committed by Fung that time on the low throw. Certainly not something that the Black Bears could afford to do there. Fung did a good job to put the stop on it, but then was fairly hasty on that throw. As John Newman Jr. heads up to the plate. RBI double and a walk for him. Big lead off the bag for Bethencourt at first as Benz delivers, throws a dart, but misses down and in 1-0 with that fastball. Yeah, all game long, the Black Bears have had a really tough time throwing strikes. That's hurt them today. Usually not an issue for them. They're checking on Grove behind him as the 1-0 comes up. This is laced and through the hole on the right side for a base hit. Picked up on a couple hops by Stinson. He's going to fire it in. So the run will not come in to score before the 2nd inning in a row. The Wenatchee Applesox find themselves with the bases loaded and nobody out. It's the 5th hit of the game for for Wenatchee. The 2nd hit for John Newman Jr. and the 3rd time in 3 attempts that he's reached base. So now let's see Aiden Selfridge. He's 0 for 1, grounded out and reached on a walk today. Benz needs a strikeout right now. First pitch is hit in the air to center field. Mortensen racing over towards the gap, gets behind it, makes the grab, and fires to third. A 1 run will score. That's Grobe. But the Black Bears do put it out on the board and prevent the other runners from moving up. So a sacrifice fly makes it a 5-2 ball game. So here's now Mark Stewart, 1 for 1. He's got a sac fly today. Also a single, and we got to give a little credit to the Black Bears here. While there have been a ton of base runners for Wenatchee, this game could have gone way further out of hand in the last couple innings, and they've managed to keep it down. Both runners are go as this taps foul over on the right side, a slow trickler right in front of the Wenatchee dugout. Not many foul balls over on that end so far today. And the count 0-1. Cowlitz still with plenty of time as we sit here in the top of the 4th inning with 1 down. Yeah, we've had games in like the 7th inning, an hour and a half in. A little bit of a different situation here today. Benz agrees. Looks back. They're trying to keep the runners close here. They won't go this time, and Benz just pump fakes the throw after stepping off the mound. The Black Bears currently sit at 4-5 in league play, 2.5 games behind the Corvallis Knights and Ridgefield Raptors. Looking to come back in this one and put a win up there. As the 0-1 from Benz. Fastball just off the plate, high and outside, 1-1. Let's take a quick look around the West Coast League. Yakima Valley leads Ridgefield 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning in Ridgefield. The Bend Elks are up 4-0 on the Bellingham Bells in the bottom of the 6th. That's at Joe Martin Field. And Corvallis trail the Portland Pickles by a score of 2-0 That's over at Walker Stadium in Portland. Benz with the picket fence situation. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Fung trying to keep the runner Bethencourt close over there at second base. Benz continues to look out there. Runner does not go as this is hit in the air lazily to center. Coming in on it is Mortensen, making the easy catch. And he'll put him down for out number 2. So a couple of fly balls to him. One of the sacrifice variety, and this one will not advance everybody.
Now it's number 24, Reese Stapp.
Put 2 down as Reese Stapp steps up. He is 0 for 1, walked and struck out. 1 run in this inning for Wenatchee. The Blackbirds looking to just keep it right there. Wenatchee have scored in 3 of 4 offensive innings. The only 0 came in the second, where Engeroth had a little bit more of his control. And Benz kicks, fires. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a strike. That's his bread and butter, count 0-1. Benz with a lot of calling cards. The slightly askew cap over towards his left, the lumberjack beard, and fastballs down and away to both righties and lefties. And the 0-1 from the Sonoma State pitcher. That's a fastball strike, and Wilson Weber with the throw over to third base. Nishida put the tag on him. Looked like he was dead to rights out there. And Brian Burris going out to talk. The fans are irate as Brian Burris, not usually someone to raise his voice, but clearly upset, talking to Eric Swift as the fans are as well. Yeah, that throw beat him by about 5 feet. And I think they're going to say that Bethencourt slid in under the tag. Burris not happy. Much like the Cowlitz Black Bears faithful, that should have been an inning-ending throw out by Weber. He made a great throw. Again, I think they're going to say Bethencourt slid in under the tag. That's got to be the justification. So no 2 count. Benz will have to do it himself right here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. Benz comes set from the extreme first base side of the rubber. Takes a quick look over at Bethencourt. Kicks, fires the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Benz is able to get it for the final out of the inning. 1 run comes in, though, for Wenatchee. They extend their lead. That 1 run comes in on 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 2 on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cowlitz Black Bears trail it by 3 and will come to bat, looking to make up some ground. You're listening to Cowlitz Black Bears baseball on YouTube. You're watching on YouTube and listening on KEDO. Bottom of the 4th inning, Schwarz, Fung, Radomski. And again, back out there on the mound is Cole Hatton, who was sitting for a long time again and has not had the greatest command in the world, but the Black Bears have just hit the ball right at these fielders. Let's see if they can get some through some holes this time, as they have 2 runs on 3 hits up there so far. That's their offense today. First one from Hatton. Ooh, breaking ball way up and in, and Schwarz moves his head out of the way of that one, 1-0. Hey, all it takes is a couple of base runners, create some traffic, and the Black Bears can easily find themselves right back in it. Starting to hit a lot better as of late, as the 1-0 comes in, and it's way down and outside, 2-0. Honestly, I think the Black Bears' key here is probably some patience. Hatton's really struggled, especially against righties, missing low and outside of them. And the 2-0 on the way. 3-0 as that hops in front of the plate. Get me over pitch coming up. We're here on the, well, I guess, yeah, today is the second day of summer. Some were telling me it was the 20th, some said it was the 21st, but definitely summer ball out here. Beautiful evening, sitting in the low 70s at David Story as the 3-0 is down and out, ball 4. So Schwartz finds himself aboard. A leadoff walk for the Black Bears puts him in business with Matty Fung coming up to the plate.
Number 1, Matty Fung.
Fung is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Now they've got Schwartz over there at first base. 2 swipe bags on the season, 1 in today's ball game already. You think they might start to get some guys moving as Fung takes a strike at the knees and the count 0-1. And yeah, this is the time of evening where it becomes a little more difficult to be a left-handed batter with the sun starting to set over in left field. But once it gets behind those trees, I'll start to even things back out as the 0-1 is low to Fung. Schwartz thinks about going, takes a big secondary, but scampers back to the bag over at first base. And Fung hasn't really had a chance to play much baseball lately. It's his senior year of baseball was shut down, and then the Boise State program also had been cut, so now transferring to UC Davis, and has performed well for the Black Bears. Played really nicely on defense at second base especially. He's got a nice eye at the plate as he sees one go by him. 2-1 off the inside black. The Cowens Black Bears beginning a 6-game homestand here. And we'll look to enjoy the home cooking and turn things around here in the first half. 4-5 through their first 9 league games as a quick throw over to first from Hatton is not in time, but Stapp decides to put the tag on him anyway. And it's up for grabs, the South Division. Just 2.5 games separate the first place team and the fourth place team. And the 2-1 on the way. Fung swings and fouls it into the glove of Stewart. 2 balls and 2 strikes coming up as now maybe Wenatchee going to start getting a little bit of action happening in their bullpen. Two coming up to Matty Fung. Took a couple of pitches off the plate in between a strike and a foul ball, as this one is laced in the air over on the left side. And a very aware and astute fan out there telling everybody, heads up. Nice to have that safety over there. Gotta have your head up at the ballpark. Looking out for those souvenir baseballs coming out there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 Fung again. With the runner on first, nobody out, his team trailing by 3. The Wenatchee right-hander kicks, delivers, and Fung again hits one off the end of the bat. And it'll bounce a couple times, now off the rail, and in the more expensive seats down the field level section. A very happy fan picking up that baseball as Fung putting together a nice at-bat here. 3 straight foul balls after a 2-2 or 2-1 count got him started. Schwartz 10 feet off the bag at first, dangling his right arm low as the 2-2 on the way to Fung. Watches one high, fills the count up 3-2. The Black Bears dugout loving it. Back-to-back 3-ball counts from the Applesox right-hander Hatton. And in full counts, he has not had one yet today. Black Bears are hoping that he misses again as Fung hits one in the air in foul territory over on the left side, making the long run over is Bethencourt. Made the slide, but all that he did over there was maybe get a couple of patrons dusty as he ran out of room. That baseball lands over in that picnic area. And Fung now will have at least a 9-pitch at bat. And also a slightly tired Bethencourt after making that long run. Another payoff pitch from Hatton. Kicks, fires, Fung hits it in the air, this time over to left field. Selfridge, ranging over towards the line, kicks it into an extra gear and catches it about, actually, I think his foot was right on the foul line.
Welcome to the plate
to
now,
make the grab for out number 1.
Johnny Radomski.
Johnny Radomski 0 for 0 with a walk. Schwartz led off the inning with the base on balls, and Radomski looking to, at the very least, move him over. The Black Bears offense looking to get clicking to punch back against the Applesox, who have scored 4 runs in the last 2 innings. Now the first one to Radomski. Down and away, 1-0. Now let's see if they send Schwartz off and running. Hatton's maybe looked over once or twice, but Schwartz able to get a pretty decent-sized lead there. As now Hatton, I don't think he looked at him at all this time. Yeah, now a quick couple of nods. 1-0 on the way. Hits sky high into right center field. Right there is O'Hara, and he'll glove it for out number 2. So 2 down now on a couple of high fly balls, and that'll send up Wilson Weber, who's knocked in both runs for the Black Bears in today's game. He's 1 for 1 with a long double. Weber just missed a home run by a few inches at best, really. I thought that one was certainly gone out there. Big right-handed hitter with an open stance as he crushes this one to left. This one will certainly go goodbye. A 2-run home run for Wilson Weber. Made that one look like a batting practice fastball. And just like that, the Wenatchee lead has cut down to 1. A 2-run home run by Wilson Weber. It's 5-4. That one got out of there in a hurry.
That's our boy.
I think that ball is still going out there. As now with 2 outs, Riku Nishida steps up to the plate. Nishida is 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts that he almost beat out for base hits. Wilson Weber making all the noise from the 9 spot. First pitch to Nishida. Pulls the bunt over down the first base side, and it's touched in foul territory by a stop. 0-1. This is the second time, this is a fun one. This is the second time in the past 3 games that the Black Bears have gotten 4 RBIs out of their 9-hitter. Toriano Sweet did it 2 games ago against Corvallis off of 3 singles. Now Wilson Weber's done it off a bases clearing double and a 2-run home run. Now the 0-1 to Nishida. Swing and a miss on top of that off-speed pitch. And the count now 0-2 to him. 2 down, the Black Bears do punch back against Wenatchee here. Looking for more. Only down by 1 as Dale Takalo continues to warm in the pen. Here's the 0-2. And Nishida takes that one that skips in front of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the Black Bears dugout fired up. They were excited before that 2-run home run. But now after that, it's a whole new ball game, and they're energized over there on the third base side. Base is empty. As a 1-2 comes on the way to Nishida with 2 down. Hatton delivers, and Nishida slaps that one foul and out of play into the parking lot on the left side. So we'll do the 1-2 all over again.
Did you bring your gloves tonight?
So many foul balls over there today. This was a good day to come to see the Cowlitz Black Bears. Yeah, relatively full out here. And the 1-2 from Hatton. Nishida again fouls one back. This time will hit the netting, so won't be a take-home for the fans. As Jacob Stinson comes out to grab that one. Cowlitz with 4 runs on 4 hits in this game, and all 4 have been driven in off 2 by Wilson Weber. Long set from Hatton. Now the wind. The 1-2 again. Breaking ball misses high and outside. And Nishida, as always, putting together a really nice plate appearance from the left-hander's batter's box. And I'd like to send our thank yous out to you at home, whether you're on the couch watching YouTube or in the car on the radio, or reverse. Hey, you could be on the couch listening to the radio. I hope you're not watching YouTube in the car, though, unless you're just getting the audio. But you could tune into KEDO at 99.1 FM or 1400 AM. Well, thank you for joining in as Nishida watches one go right by him on the outside corner. Strike 3 for the final out of the inning. But the Cowlitz Black Bears score 2 runs on 1 big hit. A 2-run shot by Wilson Weber, his first of the season, the 6th of the year for the Black Bears, as the Black Bears now trail by just one, heading into the top of the fifth with the Applesox coming to bat. You're tuning into Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO.
That's my boy Noah.
Top of the fifth inning now. Enzo Apodaca will lead off against another inning from Michael Benz. As the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Benz has had command of the strike zone today. 18 pitches, 12 for strikes. His teammates went exactly 50-50 as this is fouled away down the left side and the count 0-2. Wind's starting to really blow in again, but that's not unusual today. You know, we're pretty close to a couple of rivers here, and it's keeping it nice and cool here on an upper 70-degree evening here at Lower Columbia College, David Story Field in Longview, Washington. The Black Bears cut the deficit down to just one, and once again, they'll look to keep it just there as the 0-1 from Benz, or the 0-2 from Benz, is fouled away by Apodaca, and he'll keep it just there. A couple more lefties due up in Simpson and O'Hara. As Benz looking to send him down 1-2-3, get the first 1-2-3 inning for the Black Bears in today's contest. The game an hour and 45 minutes old, but we're just in the top of the fifth. It's been a back and forth offensive affair between these two teams. Already 9 total runs scored in 4 innings as Benz misses high and outside. One maybe slipped out of his hand, had a lot of velocity though. 1-2 coming up. Benz with a long look, leers in at Apodaca, delivers the next one, and he hits it right off the end of the bat and nails one of the poles that are holding these nets behind home plate nice and taut. And 1-2 again. The lights have come on here at David Story Field, although it'll be quite some time before it starts to get dark. Yeah, and the bus trip home. We were just seeing the finishing touches of the sunset, and it was 10 o'clock at night. Couple of long days out here on the West Coast, near that summer solstice, as Benz missed low that time, 2-2. Again, 9-1-2 due up for Wenatchee, trying to do some more damage as Benz gets a swing and a miss off the outside slider. And Benz, with back-to-back strikeouts dating back to the last inning, sends him down for out number 1. So now Justin Simpson strutting his way up. He's walked twice and also reached on a fielder's choice. Michael Benz will look to try to force him to put the ball in play here. As the right-hander gets ready to go against the smaller framed left-handed hitter, Simpson, fouls one off the right ankle. Gonna take a couple of struts around to shake that one off. Yeah, again, those never feel good. Base is empty, top of the fifth with 1 out. Michael Benz looking for a scoreless inning, the first since the second. That was dealt by Carson Angeroth as Benz found the outside corner, 0-2. So it's looking like they'll try to get 2 from Benz and then 2 from Tackalo, and then probably 2 from one more reliever. Another 0-2 count from Benz. Set up down and away, and this is grounded sharply, but foul down the third base line, and it'll hook away. The fan tried to bend down over in that picnic area right in front of the Bob's Sporting Goods party deck, but just couldn't come up with it. Cowlitz have fought their way back in this one twice. They even led 2-1. They were down 1-0, then led 2-1, then trailed 4-2, then 5-2, and now have made it a 5-4 ball game as Benz misses high and outside with that breaking pitch that he struck Apodaca out on. But a little too high that time. 1-2 on the way as Benz looks to show off his Mercedes-level fastball. Shakes off a bunch of signs. Simpson getting a little uncomfortable in the box there, and now agrees after a long look in. Seemed like Simpson waited for him to agree for the signs there to step out, although it was a pretty long set there. On deck is Michael O'Hara. I think I said that at the same time as the Wenatchee broadcaster. This one high and away again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Applesox looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. They lost back-to-back games against Bend. They're actually outscored in that series against Bend, 30-20. It was a wild affair over there in Wenatchee as the 2-2 swing and a missed, strike 3. So Benz gets the location on that curveball that he wanted and sends Simpson down. Back-to-back strikeouts and back-to-back-to-back dating back to the last inning. So 2 down now. Here's Michael O'Hara. Benz just threw his 30th. O'Hara walked, grounded out, and flied out. Hit the ball the other way both times into left field for the left-handed hitter. First pitch to him. Fastball is tapped over to second. Couple of hops to Fung. Fields fires to first and sends him down for the final out of the inning. The first 1-2-3 for Black Bears pitching. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. We're halfway through here at David Story Field, heading into the bottom of the 5th with the Black Bears trailing by 1 and Cowlitz coming to bat. You're tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. We'll be right back. I have something to admit to you at home. Yes, I am singing along to the Weather Guard theme song or jingle at the end, just off the air, because you don't want to hear me sing. You're here to hear me talk. So we were going to the bottom of the 5th inning, and of course, join in through Cowlitz Black Bears. New pitcher coming in is Jared Engman, right-hander, thrown hard. That's a nice fastball that we're seeing here in the warm-ups, and that'll close things down for the starter. So let's wrap up his line and give it to you right here. Cole Hatton started off this ball game through 4 innings of 4-run baseball. All of the runs were earned on 3 walks, 4 hits, a couple of strikeouts through 78 pitches, 41 strikes, 52.6%, as Engman will come on in to try to hold on to this 1-run lead. And we're looking around. Engman has made 4 appearances in relief. He's thrown 7 innings, allowed 6 runs, 4 earned on 10 hits, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He's 1-0. He's allowed a couple of doubles, and his ERA is 5.41. So the Black Bears will look to try and jump on the bullpen of the Applesox. As now Corby wants to come up in the press box. I don't think we can fit his head through the door, honestly. First pitch to Stinson is a fastball strike at the knees and inside, count 0-1. Stinson, Mortensen, Arboleda coming up as the Black Bears need 1 run to at least tie this ball game. Stinson gets on top of that one and fouls that into the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. Stinson is 0 for 2 today, a fly out and then a line out right to Justin Simpson. Looking to get a hit in front of his dad who's in attendance today. 0-2. It's a fastball way outside, 1-2. Hey, the last time his dad came to a game was against Corvallis on Sunday, and he went 4 for 4 with an RBI, a couple runs scored, and a walk. So, his dad being here, while it's fun for him, it's also effective for him. Now the 1-2. Stinson taps one, rolls over, and it's going over to the second baseman, Simpson. Sidearms it over to first and will send the speedy right fielder for the Black Bears down 4-3 for out number 1. So he hit that one a little bit more towards the hole, but didn't get enough gas on it to get it away from Simpson. As Brock Mortensen will step up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a base hit and a flyout today. Mortensen again with the long flowing California haircut. And the first pitch on the way to him, that's a fastball strike. Black Bears dugout doesn't like it, count 0-1. Now you can hear them over the crown mic. Mortensen from Ventura, California. 6 foot, 200 pounds. Next pitch to him, ooh, smoked a foul ball. And that'll wake everybody up. The Black Bears already over there are awake and electric in the third base dugout, but yeah, you're going to have to be after a smoked ball like that. The 0-2 to Mortensen, and he takes one down and away. The off-speed pitch will make it a 1-2 count coming up to the Black Bears' brand new center fielder. 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and 9 left for Wenatchee. For Cal, it's 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 3 left aboard. The big difference is all the walks that the Black Bears have issued today. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mortensen will hustle down the line, but Stewart completes the throw, and they'll send him down on strikes for the second one of the inning. So now we'll see Cary Arboleda coming up. He's 1 for 2. As a base hit and a fielder's choice, hit the ball really hard past the second baseman Simpson the second time, and the first time just kind of chopped it there. So now Engeroth is eligible for the loss, can't win. And the starter for Wenatchee also cannot win. First pitch is a little low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes to the right-hander. As the Black Bears were able to score in the last inning with 2 outs, let's see if they can do the same thing this time. And the 1-0 comes in. Chopper up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Picked up by Grobe, and it tips off his glove and into center field. So Grobe cannot handle it. Let's see how they score that one. That one can kind of go 50-50, as it was a high chopper that he had to range over to the side for. And they are going to give him a hit. So the Black Bears with their 5th of this game. So a high chopper puts a man on here. Sean Mulcair with a chance to tie things up. The tying run is on first. As they throw over, Arboleda dives back in time. He's pretty tall. He's not going to struggle to get back there. So Mulcair represents the go-ahead now at the plate. He has the power to get it done. First pitch to him. Swung on and fouled off the handle of the bat. 0-1 coming up to him. And Mulcair's had a little bit of an up and down season for the Black Bears, but has started to level out a bit and really embracing the DH role for this team as a lefty against right-handed starters. He's looked real good as he takes a fastball on the outside corner in the count 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes coming up. Arboleda waiting on first base. So Black Bears trail it by 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're over halfway through this contest. Eggman looking to throw a 0 up on the board for the first time since the 3rd inning against the Black Bears, and with his fastball, misses down and away 1-2. And I'd like to thank our sponsors over at State Farm. Call your local State Farm agent here in Longview. As you got Bob Beal at 360-245-5432 and Scott Fisher at 360-432-9500 as this is hit into left field, and a diving catch there by Aiden Selfridge and is able to put the Black Bears down for the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left to board. Let's head to the top of the 6th. Cowlitz trail at 5-4. The Applesox coming to bat. You are tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube.
That's on him.
All right, top 6. Ben's out again. This will be
Good job, guys. Ready?
his longest appearance. He's out for a 3rd inning of work as he's really eating these innings well.
Now it's number 10.
Grobe, Bethencourt, Newman Jr. coming up. This is the 3rd time that this trio has led off an inning for the Wenatchee Applesox. As the righty comes up. And the first one is a fastball low, 1-0. Ben's at 32 pitches, 21 strikes. And yeah, we probably won't see him the rest of the series, given the distance that he's given the team today. 1-0. Swung on, hit high in the air to left. This is going deep. Radomski back near the wall and makes the grab for out number 1. Now you can hear the difference probably between me and the Wenatchee broadcaster.
Out there in left field, Johnny Radomski.
He was getting excited that it was going to go over, but that ball just dies out there in left field. Hey, I don't blame him. That ball was crushed, and in most other ballparks that's gone, but Radomski able to arrange over and catch it over that low fence for out number 1. So here's Tino Bethencourt, 1 for 3, a line out, a single, and Rishon Ayers is lined up the middle. Mortensen, it misses his glove, and that's going to go hit the wall. The wind kind of took that one over to the side as now Bethencourt heading for 3rd base. It's a stand-up triple for him as Mortensen just flat out misplayed that ball in center field. Looks like he was running over to catch it, but he overran it, and actually they are going to call it an error on him.
19, John Newman Jr.
Yeah, he certainly should have had that out there in center. As now John Newman Jr. comes up with a potential 6th run 90 feet from home. So 1 down. Newman Jr. is 2 for 2 with a couple of hard hits to the right side and a walk. Now the home plate umpire Jordan Smart calls time, and everybody will reset here. Bethencourt with plenty of speed can score on a fly ball almost anywhere in the outfield. Again, with those 7 stolen bases for this Applesox squad. Now Ben shakes one off, and now Weber going to go out to talk to him. The Black Bears don't have a guy warming in the bullpen. They had Takalo tossing before, but nothing now, as they're going to game plan to how to attack Newman Jr. Maybe something they saw in the first couple at-bats. A pitch that he liked a little more. They might want to go into him a little more since he has hit it the other way 2 times. Strong gust of wind coming in. That should add a tick on the velocity, as this is going to get away from Weber. They flip it. No, they don't flip it back home, and that'll score a run. So Bethencourt comes in off the wild pitch, and it is now a 6-4 Applesox lead. And Bethencourt came in. He really should have been out on that play in center field, so that one hurts, as Mortensen just overran that one. 1-0 now to Benz. Well, at least the bases are empty now, as that fastball comes in for a strike, 1-1. And I'm not getting on Mortensen here. That was a tough play because the line drive hit right at you is the hardest one to judge. He was running over to his right side, and the wind was blowing the other way, so he just overran that. Still learning out here at David Story Field. I mean, it's his first game here, as Newman Jr. takes one outside, 2-1. So now the bases are clear with one down in the top of the sixth. And the Black Bears deficit has again increased to 2. And the 2-1 now. Inside, near the hands, 3-1 coming up from Michael Benz. This is the first game of a 3-game set against the Applesox here. Both teams 2.5 games behind their first place squads in their respective divisions. But Wenatchee at 6-6 in the league, and the Black Bears at 4-5. 3-1 is off the plate outside, ball 4. So Newman walks for the second time today. He's been on base all 4 times today, as Aiden Selfridge will step on into the righty's batter's box. Selfridge with the high socks up in there, 0 for 1, a ground out, a sac fly, and a walk. So the middle infielders will pinch for double play depth as they throw over to check on Newman Jr. Not in time. No steals for him so far this season. The Applesox have been one of the more successful teams in the history of the West Coast League, coming into the season at 289 and 244. That's a .542 winning percentage as Benz gets a big swing and a miss by Selfridge. Count 0-1. Yeah, they've won plenty of championships in their history as well. They were established in 2000, played in the PIL previously. Have championships in 2003, 2005, 06, 09, and then in the West Coast League in 2010 and 2012. Now the 0-1. Breaking pitch. Misses a little too high and inside. A ball and a strike coming out for Benz. Well, Benz's fastballs look good today. The breaking ball, it seems like to every hitter, he misses high and over towards the right-hander's batter's box twice, and then he's able to dip one in to pick up a strikeout. Newman Jr., and they got him picked. They throw to Arboleda. He's giving chase, and they're going to say he didn't get the tag on him. Now he tosses over to Benz. Benz with the pump fake, and they put the tag on him. So the 1-3-1 pickoff, an interesting one, and Newman Jr. was caught napping over there. So that's a big one that the Black Bears needed to put 2 down, and now a 1-1 count to Aiden Selfridge. Again, the bases are empty. This makes it a little bit easier for Benz. Another pickoff for him. As look out, that was inside, and looks like it hit the jersey of Selfridge, so he'll trot on to first. So that runner is back on there. And Mark Stewart will come up to the plate. 1 for 2. Fly out, sac fly, and a single.
Stepping up now is number 6, Mark Stewart.
Benz checking again. Hey, could get another pick off there. Kicks, delivers, and this is popped up on the left side. Schwartz jogs into the grass. Now has to make a better read on it as it slithers over in front of the second base bag, but he's able to collect it for the final out of the inning. So no run, or 1 run on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left to board. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Cowlitz trail by 2. The Black Bears coming to bat. You are tuned in to Cowlitz Black Bears Baseball right here on YouTube and KEDO. Stick with us. Bottom 6 now. Schwartz, Fung, Radomski. Another inning for Jared
Now, by the way, I
Engman,
do have the winner
who hung a 0 on the board in the bottom of the 5th inning against the Black Bears, and now the Cowards trail it by 2.
49. For kids,
And will once again have to try to claw their way back in.
So Griffey is our winner there. And for the adults, it was actually 167, and Mike Mackey guessed 166.
Schwartz, a fielder's choice in a walk today. Fung and Radomski
You can get your prize at the 10
have put together some good at-bats, but aside from Wilson Weber, the bottom of this Black Bears order hasn't done too much, so they're going to need a little bit more from these guys, and we know they're capable of it. And Engman kicks, delivers that hard fastball. They say he went around. Schwartz checked his swing, and the count 0-1. And now Engman kicks, delivers again, down and outside, 1-1. And again, Engman came into this game with a pretty high ERA, 5.14. So the Black Bears can certainly try to take advantage of that, as the Bernacchi bullpen has not been a big strength of this team. Next one. Breaking ball hits the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the Cowlitz shortstop. And don't miss tomorrow's action. The Black Bears will be right here to host the Wenatchee Applesox again at 6:35 p.m. Tune in on either YouTube, KEDO, or join us at the ballpark right here at David Story Field and get those tickets at CowlitzBlackBears.com. As a swing and a miss by Matthew Schwartz sends him down on strikes. He was fooled on a breaking ball. And now Matty Fung steps up. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. And Fung decides to bunt, but it goes foul and right in the on-deck circle. No balls and 1 strike. We're sitting in the bottom of the 6th with 1 away, bases clear. And again, I talked about this before. The Wenatchee Applesox, they have 6 runs on the board on 5 hits. The walks have really hurt the Black Bears, but the pitching has stranded 10 batters on base. So this game could have been a lot worse. As the next one, Fung checked his swing. And the count 0-2. And the next one to Fung, misses below the knees, so he's able to take that fastball and work the count slightly more into his favor. Now, Fung is known for having long at-bats, working walks from 0-2 counts. A lot of the Black Bears lefties have really done that, as now he takes one down and in, 2-2. And Engman, not a guy that issues a ton of walks, but 3 in 7, or rather now 3 in 8 innings. So still not completely ideal. As the 2-2 on the way. Fung rolls over one, goes to the first baseman, stop. He is going to take it himself, steps on the bag, and stops right before Fung can get there for out number 2 of the bottom of the 6th inning. So now Johnny Radomski will be up to him to do some damage. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout. And Radomski also has one of the Black Bears' 4 runs today. The red-hot Wilson Weber is on deck, so they would love to get Radomski on base. And maybe Weber can tag another one. All the offense for the Black Bears coming from him. 4 runs on his 2 hits. First pitch to Radomski. Checked his swing, but that one was a little high, so the count 1-0. And they do decide to appeal to Eric Swift, but he agrees. He did not go. Here's the 1-0. Skips in front of the plate, 2 ball. Yes, 2 balls and no strikes. I think I had accidentally clicked the strike button on my scorebook in front of me. Sun really starting to set behind the trees as now some of the sweatshirts coming on out. Nice, comfortable, cool evening as Radomski hits one foul and in between the legs of Mark Stewart, 2-1. Yeah, these are the summer nights that Cowlitz Black Bears baseball is all about. Beautiful evening. A lot of fans enjoying themselves, having a good time, and the Black Bears right now looking to come back and take this first game against Wenatchee Applesox. Still with 10 offensive outs to work with as Radomski grounds one sharply up the middle. Picked up by Grobe. He's going to fire to first and beats him by a step. And that'll wrap up this inning, 6-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. A 1-2-3 from Engman as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Wenatchee 6, Black Bears 4, and the Applesox due up to bat. You're tuned into Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube.
If you have a husband and a wife and they're competing to see.
Let's do it in the top of the 7th now. Reese Stop, Enzo Apodaca, and Justin Simpson against, wow, another inning for Benz. Ben's usually, again, a late inning guy, closer.
This number 9 is
Back out for a 4th inning, why not? He surrendered just one earned run. That's the one in the last inning, the error. And the wild pitch. So the first one from Benz. Fastball a little bit low, below the knees, 1-0. That was his 43rd pitch. Yeah, and again, he probably won't be available again until the Bend Elk series, so why not give him a couple extra tosses? 1-0 on the way. Fastball is sliced foul and into the netting above some of the field level seats on the right side. 1-1 coming up. Yeah, so far, Benz today, it's been really good in relief. He's thrown 3 innings, allowed 2 runs, but just 1 earned on 1 hit, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So the walks have been an issue for the Black Bears today as they've allowed 10 Applesox to reach for free as the 2-1, or rather the 1-1 missed inside. They count 2-1. And Ben's 2-1. Fastball on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As now a pinch hitter in. And it's Garrett Cutting wearing the number 9. And the next offering is just off the plate outside, and it'll fill the count up 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Benz thought he had strike 3 as the way he strutted off the mound, but instead it's just a full count. Ben's looking to avoid his 4th issued walk today. Doesn't like any of the signs that Weber's throwing down, and now Cutting calls time so that he can get re-locked in over there in the right-hander's batter's box. The Wenatchee Applesox as a team just came into this game with an average just above 200, about 208. And now Ben's ready to go. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, there he goes. Benz was able to get the strikeout. Pitching almost the exact same spot.
coming up now is number 1.
And puts him away, 1 down. Now Enzo Apodaca, 0 for 2, a fly out, a strikeout, and a walk for him. Last time he struck out was against Benz. Weber sets up away. First pitch from Benz. Ground ball right to Arboleda. Snags it over on his left and makes the stop on that hard hit grounder for out number 2.
Let's carry Arboleda over there, number 21.
So Arboleda flashing the lever a bit over there at first base, and 2 down. Here's Justin Simpson. Simpson with 2 down and the bases empty in the top of the 7th inning. He's walked twice and struck out. Also grounded into a fielder's choice. Already up for the 5th time today. Benz kicks, delivers, and misses high above the belt of Simpson, 1-0. And he's been good out of the leadoff spot. Again, a couple of walks. Does not have a hit, but hey, you just have to get on base any way you can. As now he's got 5 on the season. This will trickle over to second. A quick throw by Fung. He just wanted to get out and get back up, get his team back up to bat. So he fires to first, sends him down, and that'll do it. It is stretch time after this 1-2-3 inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. The Black Bears coming to bat with Weber, Nishida, and Stinson. You won't want to miss it right here on YouTube and KEDO. Bottom of the 7th inning, Weber, Nishida, Stinson, a dangerous part of the order against Jared Ingman. Back out for his 3rd inning of work. Now he's mowed the Black Bears down in the 5th and the 6th. And let's see if they won't get fooled again as Weber.
Up now, it's Wilson Wheels Weber.
Was up in the 4th, hit a 2-run shot to cut the lead down at the time to 5-4. And the young catcher, 2 for 2, 4 ribbies, double and a home run. First pitch to him. They miss low to Wilson Weber below his knees and in the dirt, 1-0. Weber's now hit for the season cycle. As the 1-0 comes up to him and they miss low to him again. 2 balls and no strikes, and the Black Bears living and dying by every pitch over on the bench. That's the type of energy you love to see from your team, especially over here at home. The 2-0 to the righty. Weber hits one high and deep, this time the other way. This is going back towards the track near the wall, and right there at the wall is Michael O'Hara. Wilson Weber just missed another home run.
Just a reminder, if you take your ticket to Grocery Outlet tomorrow, with any purchase, you get a case of free bottle.
By about a yard there, as that was over on the warning track. Maybe a little bit more, but there's one away as the Applesox are finally able to retire Wilson Weber. So here's Riku Nishida, holds the bat high above his head before the opposing pitcher gets set. Nishida 0 for 3, strike out a couple of ground outs, takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Now Riku's 2 ground outs, even though they were to the second baseman, were really close plays, so if he can hit one over on the left side, he can probably steal away a base hit as he takes a changeup down and out. No balls and 2 strikes to the Osaka, Japan native. Nishida, one of 2 Japanese players, and oddly enough, both of them go to the same college. He and Toma Murasi, both from Mount Hood Community College. And Nishida set a bunch of records, including the stolen base record for Mount Hood, 33 on the season, also knocked in 25 runs and hit 415. 415 was the 3rd highest average in the NWAC. As the 1-2, high, 2-2. Now Nishida, I was talking about Matty Funk, he can do this as well, but Nishida's a master at it. Riku can fall behind 0-2 and work himself a walk so well as he spoils a lot of pitches, as he just did right there, fouling one off the netting above the bleachers on the left side. And a 2-2 again coming up to Nishida. I think he did it twice in Corvallis. In the same game, he fell behind 0-2 and worked a walk as he takes the breaking ball down and outside, fills it up 3-2, so a chance to do it here. And if Riku reaches base, you know that he's probably off and running towards second. The Black Bears need to do anything they can to try to get guys in scoring position as Nishida hides Shopper to second base. Will he beat it this time? The throw, he slides! Oh, they just got him. Riku gave it everything he had with the head first slide into first, but they still beat him for out number 2. So Jacob Stinson comes up 0 for 3. Fly out, line drive, and a ground out for him today. Comes up to a little bit of Funky Town. Try to take a baseball to Funky Town out there in left field. Let's get pull one down the line. Yeah, and despite the win situation here, as a strike in there to Stinson, count 0-1. Yeah, despite that, all the home runs this season have gone either to center or left. We haven't had any to right field. Very strange. As the 0-1 is a fastball on the outside corner, and Stinson falls behind 0-2. As the Black Bears now with the right-hander warming up. Wonder if they have Takalo back up there. This is fouled away, and no, it is Jake Dent. So they'll give him an inning as Stinson fouls one away, as the Black Bears need to find a way to get the final 6 outs here in this game and try to keep the deficit at 2. Still very manageable. And Stinson, the lefty, against the righty Engman now. Righty kicks, delivers 0-2. Stinson takes a fastball high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes coming up to the right fielder for him. After the final out of today's game, don't forget to tune in to your Cowlitz Black Bears post-game show live here on YouTube and on KDO. And if you miss it, you can catch it on YouTube and on the Daily News the next day. So check out the Daily News' website for that. Stinson takes a breaking ball down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for him. Base is still empty as the Black Bears haven't generated much offense since the 4th inning. Wilson Weber with a 2-run shot there. The 2-2. And Stinson, towering shot. This one to right field, but way high in the air. Did not quite get the carry he was looking for, as O'Hara able to put the glove on it and send him down for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning. O'Hara, Grove, and Bethencourt coming up, and a new pitcher coming out for the Black Bears. You're tuned into Cowlitz Black Bears baseball right here on 99.1 FM, 1400 AM, KEDO, Longview, Kelso, and on YouTube. We'll be right back. Top of the 8th inning, and Jake Dent gonna come out here as Michael Benz had an admirable relief performance and really helped keep this game close and, well, ate up a lot of innings for the Black Bears in a day where the starter only went 2 1/3 innings. So Benz on the full contest through 4 innings, allowed 2 runs, but just 1 was earned. 1 hit, 3 walks, 4 walks, sorry. So one of them, no, it's 3 walks and a hit batter. There we go. Yeah, I don't understand what was going on here. 4 strikeouts for him, and he threw 51 pitches, 60.8% for strikes, as 31 crossed the plate. And it'll be up to Jake Dent, who's had a couple of nice appearances out of the bullpen in his most recent times out there. Dent has thrown 6 innings, faced 28 batters, allowed 4 earned runs. That's a 5.81 ERA. 6 strikeouts, 8 hits, and just 2 walks, a whip of 1.67, also a hit batter, and he'll be tasked with getting out Michael O'Hara Adam Grobe and Tino Bethencourt. As we're seeing one more toss in the bullpen for the Black Bears, so hoping Dent can get out of this one scoreless, and hopefully they can send somebody in to nail it down as Dent fires a strike at the knees 0-1. And yeah, that's Dent's bread and butter. He's got a real over-the-top delivery, a downhill fastball. And when it's effective, man, he's come to play. He's got a nice pitch there. This is grounded softly over to short. Schwartz picks it up in one motion, fires the first. Arboleda with the stretch, and they got him. One down in the top of the 8th. Now Adam Grobe will step up, 1 for 3, struck out, singled, walked, and fly out. Just missed a home run to left by a couple of feet. As the park did what he usually does to balls hit out there.
Second up now is number 10.
Was able to hold it in. Grobe with some bright scarlet batting gloves with the Nike swish on it, matching the red on the back and front of his jerseys, the letters and the numbers. First pitch to him, Dent fires a fastball. In on the hands, 0-1. And against Corvallis, Dent, I think he only used 6 pitches. And the 0-2 misses down and out. 1 ball, 1 strike. No, that can't be right. He had a 6-pitch inning in a different game. I believe that was against Highline. There we go. I was going to say, he gave up a run against Corvallis, but it was on an error. 1-1 is a fastball. Ooh, a little bit off the outside edge there. 2 balls and 1 strike coming up. With Tino Bethencourt waiting on deck. Dent pitching from the windup with the bases empty. Like to keep it that way. As the 2-1 comes in, fastball is fouled and off the end of the bat, 2-2.
Your local go-to newspaper in Cowlitz County. You can find them online.
So now Jake Dent, a little more comfortable, can go back to that fastball or try a breaking pitch here. Whatever he wants to do. His most effective out pitch is that fastball, but he's thrown a lot of them this at bat, so maybe want to change speeds. Now the 2-2. Curveball a little low there. And did not get the chase. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now I've got Corby coming over by me again. He likes to come up to the press box and wave. I mean, he's got to do something, right, between taking pictures with fans and this and that. I'm happy to oblige. The 3-2 is popped up in foul territory on the right side. Arboleda loses his cap, and it just bounces in to the bullpen. For Wenatchee, a nice hustle by Arboleda to try to get over there. He is an outfielder typically, also plays first base. But he's played a lot in right field for Cowlitz. So we'll get another 3-2 to Grobe. He's seen 6 pitches so far. Some wind coming back in, and Dent rocks, delivers. 3-2 comes in and foul back directly into the backstop. So we'll take it for a 3rd consecutive payoff pitch. Well, hats off to the Cowlitz bullpen today, as they've surrendered just 2 runs of their own through 5 1/3 innings pitched now, as the 3-2 is again sliced foul, but this time nobody can make a play on that baseball. So Grobe fouling off 3 straight. Jake Dent, that was his 10th pitch, but he's thrown 7 for strikes. Sun's setting down, and we're starting to get that nice ginger orange there in left field. This Dent's breaking ball might have crossed the plate high, so he missed outside. Ball 4. Another walk for Cowlitz pitching.
Number 8, Tino Bethencourt.
That is the 11th walk issued, and each pitcher has walked at least 1. 5 for Angeroth, 2 for Wright, 3 for Benz, and 1 for Dent. So here's Tino Bethencourt, 1 for 2, a line out. A couple of errors he's reached on, 1 by the center fielder and 1 by Matty Fung. He's got a single in there as well. Ground ball double play in effect. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0. 2 more games between these sides coming up this week. We have tomorrow, that is Wednesday the 23rd at 6:35 p.m. The Black Bears will take them on. That'll be the second game of this 2-game set. And then over on Thursday We'll have another matchup between these two. Just double checking the time for you. Don't want to assume. Yes, it is 6:35. And then a weekend series against the Bend Elks. Swing and a miss at the up and in fastball. That's a pitch Dent loves to throw too. That pitch looks great. That up and in pitch looks good all the way until your bat's gone around it without making contact. One coming up to Bethencourt. And the runner goes. This is hit in the air and fouled away. 1-2. I've noticed in this league there's a lot of hit and run action, but not too many straight steals. I've almost seen more attempts at hit and runs than I have just guys trying to go over and swipe second or third base. And oftentimes on a hit and run, you'll see a foul ball, so you'll get a guy that has to retreat. Although we did see it work for Corvallis. As a 1-2, Dent misses down and away in the other batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, we saw it work for Corvallis on Sunday as they perfectly executed a hit and run to tie the game up at 4 in the bottom of the 8th. Dent, the 4th pitcher for the Black Bears, fires over to first. Arboleda puts the tag on him, but not in time. As now the Applesox have got a couple of guys stretching out there in the pen. I don't see anybody throwing, but there is somebody out there on the mound. 2-2. Hit in the air on the right side, and once again out of play. And somewhere on a roof of a Lower Columbia College building. So now the light's starting to affect things here, illuminating the grass portion of David Story Field. Of course, the entire infield is turf, and then transitions into grass. I really like this design. I'd rather run on grass in the outfield, but I'd rather run on turf in the infield. Runner goes, 2-2, and a foul tip in and out of the glove of Weber as he was standing up also to try to make the throw down there. But instead, just a foul ball, and Grobe's got to go back over to first. And we're at 2 hours and 34 minutes right now in the top of the 8th, which is normal baseball pacing, but this is becoming one of the longer Black Bears games. They're usually under 2 hours and 40 minutes in their contest as the 2-2 comes in, hitting the air over on the right side in foul territory. Stinson ranging over towards the line and leans into the bullpen but cannot make the grab as he runs out of room. Bethencourt with his 4th foul ball and his 3rd in a row now against Dent, really making him work. So we will do the 2-2 all over again. This will be the 4th 2-2 pitch. Dent from the stretch. Runner on first is Adam Grobe. He's been off and running twice as they try to get the hit and run going. Big set. 2-2. Dent misses upstairs with the fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. So at least we get a different count now. Long look again from Dent, really savoring this pitch, making sure he makes the right one. Payoff on the way, runner goes, and it's outside, ball 4, but the throw sails into center field, picked up by Mortensen, but it's just ball 4, so back-to-back walks.
Stepping up now is number 19, John
Put 2 on base as the dangerous John Newman Jr. up to the plate. 2 for 2, but has reached 4 times. Walked twice, a double, and a single. Let's take a look around the West Coast League. Yakima Valley are up 5-1 on Ridgefield. The Bend Elks in the top of the that's in the top of the 9th. The Elks are in the top of the 9th against Bellingham. They lead it 6-2. And Corvallis have come back against Portland in the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead it 4-3 on the road in Portland between a battle of Southern Division teams. So Yakima Valley beating up on Ridgefield is good for the Black Bears, as the Raptors are currently sitting in first place, although Corvallis beating Portland not as much, although maybe they can keep the gap between Portland and Cal. It's a little more manageable, though you do chase the leaders here. First pitch from Dent is a fastball a little high in sight. 1-0 to the right-handed hitting Newman Jr. The Cowlitz Black Bears will have Mortensen, Arboleda, and Mulcair. 3, 4, and 5 in the bottom of the 8th inning. As they try to rally back from down 2, they're trying to keep it just a 2-run deficit here with Dent on the mound. Checks back, 1-0, and the fastball is fouled away.
Man, look at that sky.
1 ball, 1 strike. out of the hands of Dent. Dent's been efficient in the strike zone. 13 of his 22 pitches have crossed the plate. As he's now the third different pitcher used by the Black Bears. Carson Angeroth went 2 1/3, gave up 4 runs. Keegan Wright came in, got the final 2 outs of that inning. And Michael Benz gave up 2 runs in 4 innings, though just 1 was earned. And now Jake Dent coming on here. He's recorded 1 out in the top of the 8th, but he has placed 2 men aboard on walks. Down with the long look back to second. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low, 2-1. Well, Jordan Smart has called it, you got to say, he's called it both ways, but he definitely has a tight strike zone. Neither team's really been able to get that strike at the knees, and definitely not going to get one at the above the belt anywhere either. But that's his strike zone. You got to make the adjustments to it, as Dent finds it that time, 2-2. So we'll even the count. Dent looking for a punch out here. And you love to see it. Riku Nishida over at third base, almost between every play, acts like pantomimes picking up a ground ball and throwing it over to whatever base he needs to at the time. In this case, second. Now the 2-2 from Dent. Breaking ball. He got him. Strike 3. Newman Jr. caught window shopping on the outside corner, and he's sent down for the second out at the top of the 8th inning. So a huge strikeout there from Dent. And now Aiden Selfridge comes up in the top of the 8th with 2 down. He's been hit, walked, sac flied, and grounded out. So this is his 5th plate appearance, but he's only had 1 official at-bat. Grobe and Bethencourt both on base by way of walk. Back-to-back walks after the first out was put down. That was Michael O'Hara. As Dent put him down over there. Dent agrees with the sign. Weber sets up down and away. First pitch from Jake is down and away, but off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the Black Bears still have 6 outs to work with offensively, but would really like to come all the way back in the 8th to try to close things down in the top of the 9th, although walk-offs are really fun too. And Dent's 1-0. And brought that pitch in over towards the plate a little bit more, but still off, down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Sun setting continually over there in left. Making, again, for another beautiful evening here in Longview. 2-0, breaking pitch, and that's a strike on the inside corner. Dent able to snag one away from Selfridge there, 2-1. The walks, again, have really hurt the Cowlitz Black Bears today. It's extended innings and has been unusual for this team. Not a team that walks a lot of guys. As Dent fires another breaking pitch. That curveball dips in at the top of the strike zone on the outside. And now we're even at 2-2. As a team, the Black Bears have walked 12 and hit a batter. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wenatchee lead by 2 with 2 on base. And Dent did not get the swing from Selfridge. Another pitch down and away. Fills it up 3-2. But he gave him a fastball there after back-to-back curveballs. So we'll see if he goes back to that breaking pitch that he got the 2 strikes on. 2 on, payoff pitch coming up. And he deals. Curveball crossed high. And that's ball 4. And Brian Burris now talking to Jordan Smart. And now he's going to say his piece as Smart throws him out of the game. The Black Bears have not been happy with Jordan Smart's strike zone all game long. And Burris, an ex-MLB pitcher, definitely going to give him a piece of his mind. And now Coach Corey Keir, the big-time coaching veteran of the group, going out to escort his first-time manager back out of here. And I hate to see that, but that probably fires up the Cowlitz Black Bears bench as Brian Burris going to have to collect his stuff. That is walk number 13 for the Black Bears today. And the third this inning from Dent. All right, and it looks like Smart. Well, originally Smart, it looked like he was going to wait until Burris had left the dugout. And now Corey Keir is going to go out and talk to Jake Dent and give the bullpen a little more time to warm up, and at the same time, just regroup everybody in the infield after that walk. So we had an out, a couple of walks, a strikeout, and then another walk from Dent. He's walked 3. When was the last time that they got a hit? They have not gotten a lot of hits today.
Right now, so make as much noise as you can for the Black Bears.
Yeah, no hits.
Let's go.
Since the 4th inning for Wenatchee. Just errors and walks since then. As the Cowlitz Black Bears have had a tough time adjusting to this tight strike zone today. So here's Mark Stewart, 1 for 3. Sack fly, a couple of other flyouts, and a base hit. And Dent's first pitch is downstairs for a ball, 1-0. And now a bunch of fans are deciding to play umpire out here in the crowd. As Stewart is ahead in the count, 1-0. Wenatchee in today's game, they have 6 runs on 5 hits, looking to snap a 2-game losing streak as the 1-0 pitch from Dent. That's a fastball strike, 1-1. But the Applesox just 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position. So again, it hasn't been hits for them today. It's mostly been walks. The Black Bears have only had a runner in scoring position 3 times today, and they've still managed to score 4. 1 for 3 in those situations. Now the 1-1 from Denton, and this is hit in the air to left field. Radomski going back on it, makes the turn and the catch for the final out of the inning. So the Black Bears load the bases again, but are able to get out of it with no damage, no runs, no hits, no errors, but 3 left aboard. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. The Black Bears look to put at least 2 on the board here with Mortensen, Arboleda, and Mulcair. You're tuned in to Black Bears Baseball right here on KEDO and YouTube. Okay. Alex Brady coming out on the mound. And I'm flipping through. All right, yes, this is his 3rd appearance. All right. 3rd appearance. He's thrown 3 innings, allowed 1 earned run on 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts as a 3 ERA. Brady does, and that'll be it for Angman, who had a really nice time out of the bullpen. So we'll see what Brady can do out here today.
Well, stepping up now is number 27. You might know him by the name
of
Alex
Mortensen. Brady will face off against Brock Mortensen, who's 1 for 3 today. Now, Alex Brady from LSU, but it's a homecoming for the lefty, pitching here in Longview, Washington. That's where he made his, he cut his teeth playing baseball.
Make some noise for Brock.
As Brock Mortensen gets a heavy metal painted black coming up to the plate. So let's see if Brock can get things kicking here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Cowlitz. The last time they scored was the 4th. They trail at 6-4. First pitch, lefty is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Mortensen is going to be counted on by the Black Bears to really make a difference on this team offensively, as this team's been starting to pick things up on that side of the ball originally, but now adding him will really be a boon to this team, as Brady fires one on the outside corner now, 1-1. So he paints the black after hearing painted black. And we'll give you the line from Engman in a moment as the 1-1 breaking pitch sails and loops high and outside to Mortensen. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Engman went 3 innings of scoreless relief. Can't ask for anything more than that. Just 1 hit, no walks, 2 strikeouts. 43 pitches, 27 strikes at 62.8% as Mortensen grounds one over towards second, but it's a sliding stop by the first baseman. Going to be a tough play on the run is Brady, who steps on the bag and puts him down for out number 1. So the 3-1. That play was maybe a little bit more complicated than it had to be, but they finished it off anyway. 1 down as Kerry Arboleda comes up. 2 for 3, a couple of base hits and a fielder's choice. Let's go around the West Coast League. The Yakima Valley Pippins now up 10-1 on the Raptors in the bottom of the 9th. Wow. Valley Pippins looking to win their 6th in a row. The Bend Elks have won their 3rd in a row, winning 6-2 against the Bellingham Bells, and actually have won their 3rd straight on the road. And Corvallis and Portland all tied up at 4 in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Arboleda, down and away, 1-0. And Arboleda's got 2 base hits. He's reached on the fielder's choice. One of his best games as a Black Bear so far, as he's seen his average coming up to 222 after coming into this game below the Mendoza line. And don't forget to tune in or stay tuned right after the final out. We're Cowlitz Black Bears post-game show. Live right here on KDO and YouTube as Arboleda swings and misses. Golfs at the breaking ball down and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike coming up. I know we got fireworks coming up at some point this season, but Mother Nature providing some beautiful colors of her own out there and left. A beautiful soft fuchsia pink sunset as Arboleda crushes one deep to right. This one is carrying near the track at the wall. It's gone! Kerry Arboleda with the solo home run to right field, and the Black Bears cut the deficit down to just 1, their 2nd homer of the game. It's a 6-5 ball game. Well, that's what the Black Bears were expecting from Arboleda when they brought him on this team. And they get the pop, and now Cowlitz with all the momentum here. 2 homers from them, a 2-run shot by Wilson Weber and 1 from Kerry Arboleda. Let's see if the Black Bears can score some more. Here's Sean Mulcair. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out, a line out, and he's walked today. Lefty against Alex Brady. Brady was able to retire the last left-handed hitter he faced in Brock Mortensen. On deck is Matthew Schwartz, big hitter for this team. First one to Mulcair, down and away, 1-0. Walk as good as a hit. Either way, you put the tying run on base. And now the Black Bears have officially out-hit the Applesox. They have 5 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, 4 left aboard. Wenatchee, 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 13 left on base. As Mulcair takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Now the fans and the dugout for the Black Bears, both getting behind the home team. Here's the 1-1. Mulcair foul tips it into the glove of Stewart. 1 ball and 2 strikes coming up to the Black Bears designated hitter with the shortstop on deck. Well, we talked about it before, now we got it. The first home run to right field of the season here at David Story Field, and it comes off the bat of right-hander Kerry Arboleda. That's the 4th home run that the Black Bears have hit here at home. 1-2 is down and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The other ones were hit by Queso Gata, Wilson Weber, and Henry Mensch. And Mensch just missed a home run in Corvallis. Instead had to, settle for a triple. Here's the 2-2. And Mulcair rips it hard, but hits the netting. Over on the left side yet again. 2-2 again with Sean Mulcair up here at the plate. Mulcair, all he needs is a base hit. There's a nice big gap up the middle. The second baseman Simpson is shifted over a little bit more towards the first base bag as the 2-2 way down and away, tips off the glove of Stewart into the high netting, and now Sean Mulcair's worked the count full. Getting some walking around in the pen, but no throwing for the Applesox. So they'll have to keep doing some damage against Brady, who's already surrendered a run. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kicks, delivers the payoff. Mulcair swings, and yes, he did get a piece of it. Actually, at that point, he probably was better off if he missed it completely, although the foul ball got it into the backstop. And the count will stay full as Mulcair putting up a fight after Brady surrendered that solo shot to Kerry Arboleda. Everyone on the Black Bears bench up and clapping as Mulcair punches one the other way in foul territory, drifting over and diving and sliding is Bethencourt, but he cannot come up with it, so Mulcair will live to fight another pitch. Mulcair now with a couple of practice hacks, making Brady sweat. He's thrown 15 pitches already and has only recorded 1 out. 9 of Brady's pitches have been for strikes as the Black Bears look to continue to score runs against the hometown lefty. Payoff again. Mulcair grounds one sharply to second and sliding, picking it up on a hop is Simpson, who fires to first, and he'll get Mulcair for out number 2.
Stepping up now is number 4, which is Matthew Schwartz.
So Matthew Schwartz now up. He has reached once today, but no hits. He's got a walk, a fielder's choice, and a strikeout. Also of note, this is the second game this season that the Cowlitz Black Bears have multiple home runs. First one, down and into Schwartz, 1-0. Matty Fung waits on deck. And now Brady going to take his time between pitches. Step in behind the rubber before re-engaging his feet there. And the 1-0 coming on in. And that's a fastball down and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And we've got Jacob Burley and company on the Black Bears bench standing up on the upper seating there. Here's the 2-0. Low, 3-0. Schwartz again, a walk as good as a hit. Lefty Fung coming up next. And it looks like he's going to head on back to the dugout. I believe Jaden Shepard might be coming in. As the 3-0 get me over pitch is a fastball strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Schwartz, as now they do put Jaden Shepard in the on-deck circle. 3-1. Slice the other way, but foul. And that'll hook beyond the bullpen.
Asks you for more noise. Make some noise.
As the count full to Matthew Schwartz. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Cowlitz lead, or rather trail it by 1 to Wenatchee, but are fighting their way back into this ball game. Since falling behind 5-1, Alex Brady strikes him out and then shouts over at the Black Bears dugout. So this game's going to start getting pretty heated here. We head to the top of the 9th as he picks up the strikeout there to end the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Let's go to the top of the 9th. Cowlitz trail by 1. New pitcher coming out on the mound, and Cutting, Apodaca, and Simpson all coming up to bat. So you'll want to stick with it right here on KEDO and YouTube. top of the ninth inning, and Dale Takalo will look to keep it a one-run deficit as 8, 9, and 1 are due up for the Applesox. So that means the day is all done for Jake Dent. Dent threw an inning of scoreless relief through 34 pitches, but 19 for strikes, 55.9%. Struck out 1, no hits, 3 walks, but stranded all of them on base.
Even more noise for the Bears, right?
So now here comes Dale Takalo. Takalo's thrown 11 innings with a 4.73 ERA. He's allowed 6 runs on 14 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, a whip of 1.55 as he gets a big swing and a miss as Garrett is caught cutting right there in the count 0-1. And Garrett cutting 0 for 1. He came in to pinch hit and struck out. Takalo bringing the heat here. 0-1. Swing and a miss again. 0-2, and now this crowd electric after every pitch. Takalo says no to the first one, yes to the next. Kicks, delivers, 0-2, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Garrett Cutting down on strikes. 4 out, number 1. So now it's Enzo Apodaca to the plate. 0 for 3, fly out, walk, strikeout, ground out. And this is the atmosphere you love to feel. Not even getting close to playoff time, not even getting close to the end of the first half, but a playoff-type atmosphere out here between these two squads as Takalo weaves a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. You gotta love baseball. Any game can be just like this one. High pressure on both sides, 0-1. Takalo throws his first pitch off the plate of the inning. High and outside with the change, 1-1. Bases empty in the top of the ninth inning with 1 out. Wenatchee have 6 and the Black Bears with 5 as Takalo gets a ground ball and Nishida dives. Oh, cannot come up with the stop. Radomski will pick it up and Apodaca pokes one the other way and puts a man on board for the Applesox. That's their first hit since the 4th inning.
You're making a lot of noise, and I love it.
So now here comes Justin Simpson. 0 for 3, pair of walks, a strikeout, ground out, and a fielder's choice for him. And yeah, I had to double check. Yeah, they have not gotten a hit since that 4th inning. Runner goes, pitches down and away. Weber fires, holds him down the tag. They got him. Wilson Weber with a cannon from behind home plate. Erases Apodaca. And play the Jane's addiction. He's been caught stealing. Well, I don't think Josh is actually going to play the song, but that's my favorite caught stealing song. So it's a 1-0 count as the pitch was outside, but now 2 down, and the base runner erased as Takalo misses away now 2-0. A little bit farther off the plate than the first pitch. So we're in the top of the 9th inning, just hit the 3-hour mark. Almost every fan has stayed in their seat as Takalo up and away 3-0. Simpson has walked twice. The 3-0. Misses away, ball 4, and the crowd falls silent after the walk. As now Michael O'Hara steps up. O'Hara has reached once. He walked his first trip.
Number 7.
And since then, fly out to left, ground out to short, ground out to third, and ground out to short again. Takalo just has to throw strikes here. He's fired 10 pitches, 5 of them have crossed the plate. They have Simpson on first. First pitch is low and away, 1-0. And the Black Bears have done well to slow down the running game for Wenatchee. Wilson Weber nearly threw one runner out over at third base, then did throw one out at second, and Michael Benz picked off a base runner back at first, actually recorded the putout on it as well. And Takalo steps off to keep Simpson close. He is only about 8 feet off the bag. 1-0, Takalo peers over at the runner, now collects the signs. Gets ready to go, he's completely set, nods his head, 1-0. And down and away, now Takalo's fastball has started to drift away from him a little bit into that right-hander's batter's box. Wenatchee have stranded 13 base runners today. The Black Bears have only left 4 on base, have been more efficient. Well, I mean, they've also hit 2 home runs, so that takes guys off the base paths. 2-0, fastball strike on the outside. Right on the edge, 2-1. The Black Bears will have Fung, Radomski, and Weber, although I imagine they're going to send up some pinch hitters. 2-1. Takalo misses low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Let's go around the West Coast League again real fast. Yakima Valley have taken down the Ridgefield Raptors 10-1, so they've won 6 in a row, and the Raptors will drop down to 8-5 on the season. Bend won 6-2 against Bellingham, and Corvallis and Portland are in the top of the 6th inning, all tied at 4 as O'Hara swings and fouls one into the back, netting. Full count now. So Simpson on first. Taking a couple saps off the bag, Arboleda has backed off. The runner will go on the pitch. O'Hara at the plate with a full count in the top of the 9th with 2 down and Wenatchee leading by 1. Takalo deals, and this is laced foul, so we'll do it again. Long look from Takalo as O'Hara stepped out of the box. Looks in, kicks, fires, runners go, breaking ball outside, ball 4. Another walk, handed out, second in a row from Takalo. As the Black Bears pitching has now walked 15 today. So here comes the 3-hitter, Adam Grobe. He has 2 home runs on the season. 1 for 3 today, has walked twice, struck out, and flied out. First pitch, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Takalo threw a dart that time. Another long look from Takalo. Checks on second. Here's the 0-1, and it's high, 1-1. That was Takalo's 19th pitch. This is Takalo's game here. The Black Bears are counting on him to throw up the 3rd straight 0 on the scoreboard against the Applesox in this inning. Cowlitz will only be down by 1, so every batter that they send to the plate will be the tying run. 1-1 from Takalo. Misses inside. And no, they called Takalo on the balk. I'm going to say that he flinched, and now Nishida going to go out and give Takalo a quick vote of confidence. Just gives him a high five, and yeah, you get the idea that he's got to be a great clubhouse addition to this team, as well as what he brings to the top of the order. So it'll be a 1-1 count now, as no pitch off the balk. And Grove steps out of the box. Coach Keir flashing some signs over towards the mound. Takalo looking there. And now steps on the rubber, engages to get the signs from Weber. 2 in scoring position for the Applesox. Can the Black Bears keep them there as he gets a swing and a miss? The changeup high and outside. Some fans on their feet. It's a 1-2 count. 2 down here in the top of the 9th. 1-2 count coming up against Grove. Black Bears trail at 6-5. I'm going to keep that a small gap heading into the bottom of the 9th inning. Jordan Smart reminds everybody of the count. Here's 1-2 above the head of Grove and ducks down. Takalo tried to sneak that curveball front door, but did not get really any break there. So now we'll have Deuces Wild in the top of the 9th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away with the 3-man at the plate for Wenatchee. He deals. Swung on and fouled straight back. So Grobe right on that one, right at the whole way. We'll keep it at 2-2. Wilson Weber with a great game for the Black Bears so far today. 2 for 3 with 4 runs batted in, a double and a home run. And he'll be due up in the next inning to help the Black Bears come back. Tackle is 2-2. Breaking ball. This is grounded to short. Picked up by Schwartz on a hop. Going to have to make a long throw on a hop. Properly to stretch, and it goes off his glove. 1 run comes in. O'Hara will also score. 2 come in on the ground ball by Adam Grobe, and the Black Bears now trail it by 3. It's 8-5.
Up now is number 8, Tino Beckcourt. correction, Tino Bethencourt.
So that'll go as a single and an error for the Black Bears. As Bethencourt takes a strike, 0-1. It's now 2 hits this inning for Wenatchee. Still a manageable deficit for the Black Bears, although a little bit more than before. As the 0-1 comes in, and fastball pulls up for a strike, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Tino Bethencourt. He's 1 for 4 today. He's benefited on a pair of errors, single, and he's lined out, also walked. Now the 0-2. Did he go? No, he did not. So the fastball is just going to be high. That's Takalo's 26th pitch, his 14th strike. 8-5 Wenatchee lead. The Black Bears need to end this inning here to stop the bleeding, to give their offense a chance. Takalo's 1-2. Again, that breaking ball is high and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. And breaking ball runs inside, hits Bethencourt. Another free base runner. This has just not been the game for Black Bears pitching. As Nishida goes back in to try to settle Takalo down, here comes John Newman Jr. Newman Jr., 2 for 3. Pair of walks, pair of hits. One of those for extras. It's a double. And a strikeout swinging. 2 on, 2 out yet again for Wenatchee. First pitch from Takalo. Swing and a miss. Pitch on the outside, 0-1. Waiting on deck is Aiden Selfridge. This is the 6th time that Newman Jr. has been up to the plate today. Takalo double takes to second. Here's the 0-1. Hit in the air to center field. Over towards right center. Racing over is Mortensen. And, he makes a full extension with his arm and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But Wenatchee
it's just getting
add to this inning.
Our boys are up next.
2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left aboard. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Fung, Radomski, Weber looking to have the Black Bears come back in this ball game. You won't want to miss it right here on YouTube and KEDO. Well, here we go, bottom of the 9th inning. And a new arm coming in. It is going to be number 18, Chase Grillo. So that'll be it for Brady, who allowed 1 run on 1 big hit. And, of course, that run was earned. It was a solo home run. Yeah, that's an earned run if I've ever seen one. He did not walk anybody and struck out 1 through 22 pitches, 13 strikes, 59.1%, as Chase Grillo will come on in to close things off for Wenatchee. He's a left-handed pitcher. And we'll tell you a little bit more about him. Sorry, it's taking me a second. He's from Gonzaga, 6'3", 205, from Kennewick, Washington. So in his home state, trying to nail things down. And yeah, you can tell he's 6'3". He's a tall man up there at the plate. The Black Bears will try to do the best they can to walk it off here. Matty Fung will lead it for them. He's a big on-base guy for them. as now they have to make up a 3-run deficit here. So a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. As they'll use the bottom of their order, including the red-hot Wilson Weber. And a long warm-up sequence here from Grillo. Maybe he didn't throw a lot in the bullpen. It just seems like a lot coming out here. So let's see what he's done this season. Grillo has made 3 appearances, 3 innings, allowed 1 run on 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and he has a save this season. So here's Fung stepping in to the left-hander's batter's box. 0 for 3 today. Strikeout, flyout, ground out. Crouches in the box against the tall Chase Grillo, who pitches from the extreme third base side of the rubber. Big leg kick, delivers the hard fastball, and misses above Fung's belt, 1-0. Expect the Black Bears to be extra patient this inning. Goal number 1 is to put guys on base. Goal number 2 is to knock them in. 1-0. Look out, way inside, and Fung able to jump out of the way as opposed to wearing it. 2-0 coming up. Fung has not reached base today. See if he can get it done right here. Just needs to get a board. Choked up slightly on the bat, the lefty is, as he takes a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to Matty Fung. Up next, Johnny Radomski. Left fielder, big glove for the Cowlitz Black Bears. 2-1. Inside again, and Fung has to jump out of the way twice in the last 3 pitches. 3-1 count. And when Fung's aboard, he's a threat to go and also a great base runner. This Cowlitz Black Bears team are an exceptional base running group. Very smart on the paths, very seldom get caught. And also with an aggressive third base coach in Aaron Matthews. And most of the time it pays off as the 3-1 is on the outside corner there for a strike. Full count, 3-2 to the left-hander. Fung, a fan favorite here in Cowlitz. Often we'll hear specific chants for him up at the plate. As the payoff comes in, Fung swings and misses strike 3. And the Black Bears with 2 outs to go here in the bottom of the 9th. Now Johnny Radomski to the plate. Radomski's 0 for 2. He's reached base on a walk. He's flied out and grounded out today.
Make some noise for Johnny.
Wenatchee, 8 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, 15 left aboard. Cowlitz, 5 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors, and 4 left on base for them. Jordan Smart readjusts his mask, and he's ready to call the balls and strikes behind the plate. First pitch to Radomski. Swung on, and off the end of the bat, foul on the right side. That'll land way out of play. 0-1 coming up to Radomski. And this will be a good time for Radomski to get hit number 3 of the season for his Black Bears. 0-1, look out, up and in, almost hits him in the face. And Radomski has to duck himself out of the way. 1-1. Grillo with a hard fastball, also a slider mixed in there as well. So 1-1 to Radomski. Popped up on the right side, but that'll go out of play and into the stands. 1-2 coming up to the Black Bears left fielder with Wilson Weber waiting on deck. So they did have Jaden Shepard starting to take some cuts in the on-deck circle in the last inning. It doesn't look like he's going to get a pinch hit appearance here today. Grillo sets. He's ahead in the count 1-2. Setting up down and away is the catcher. Next pitch is down and away, but too far. 2-2. Cooled down considerably this evening, although tensions got pretty high in between the last inning. Now those have cooled as well. It's a 2-2. Radomski swing and a miss. And Radomski down on strike, back-to-back Ks for Grillo and the Black Bears down to their final out. But here's the man of the hour in Wilson Weber. Weber 2 for 3 with the good, the bad, and the ugly heavy metal version playing over the loudspeakers by Josh Carter. Weber, 2 for 3, 4 ribbies, a 2-run double, and a 2-run home run. Also nearly missed a second homer to right field. First one to Weber, fastball off the edge, 1-0. And now the Applesox not happy with that call. Our GM, Gus Farah, in attendance today, along with a couple of my friends coming from New Jersey. Tara Mahajaran and Daryl Dye. We welcome them to David Story Field, and we're happy that they made the cross-country trip, and they picked a good game as Weber takes a fastball strike on the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, that's a trip from Branchburg, New Jersey, out here to Longview, Washington, and they didn't fly like I did. 1-1. Down and away, stickball pitch from Grillo is stopped there by Stewart, 2-1. Black Bears are not down yet. 2-1 to Wilson Weber. 2 down. Black Bears trail it by 3, but they have Weber, then the top of the order coming to bat. Here comes the next one from Grillo, down and away again. So Weber way ahead in the count, 3-1. .31's the count with 2 down. Nobody on base for the Black Bears. Back-to-back strikeouts to start this inning. 3-1 is low, ball 4. So Wilson Weber works a key 2-out walk to send up Riku Nishida. Nishida is 0 for 4 today. 3 groundouts to second and a strikeout, but it'll be Riku's first time against Grillo today. Ooh, coming up to Low Rida, getting some George Lopez vibes up here. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan. I'm a big walk-up song guy, if you couldn't tell by this point of the season. As Nishida takes one down and out, 1 ball and no strikes. If Nishida can get aboard, Jacob Stinson will come up to the plate representing the tying run. Walk as good as a hit here. 1-0. That's a strike on the outside corner. A little bit higher than the last one, so we even it up. Weber with some speed over at first base. If they can get one in the gap, if Nishida can pull one in right center and split the outfielders, Weber certainly has the hustle to score and cut the deficit down to just 2. 1-1 in Nishida. Fouls this one away. Now the Black Bears down to their final strike. Stinson being a good teammate, grabbing that baseball from the on-deck circle. So we're coming down here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first base in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Black Bears trail it by 3. Still a chance to come back in this one. Nishida, a very pesky hitter at the plate, known for working counts deep. Grillo comes set. Locks in, delivers to Nishida. Oh, inside. And stopped by Stewart. Nearly hit him. Grillo has been around the strike zone, but he almost hit Fung, Radomski, and Nishida. So now Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. He deals. Nishida, up and in. And he gets out of the way. So a full count now coming up to Riku. And you might ask, why not stay in on those? Well, Nishida almost got hit in the head. And these fastballs from Grillo look to be in the low 90s, so that's not going to tickle. 3-2. Nishida off the end of the bat, fouls off a close pitch. That's what you're taught to do. And what did I tell you? Working the count deep. The Black Bears scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 8th. The Applesox 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and 2 in the top of the 9th inning. Payoff pitch coming up from Chase Grillo. He deals. Nishida swing and a miss, strike 3. So Grillo strikes out the side to pick up his 2nd save of the season. The Black Bears drop their first game back at home by a score of 8-5, dropped to 4-6 on the season, 8-6-1 in overall play, as they'll welcome the Wenatchee Applesox for Game 2 of this series as they try to get one back tomorrow. At 6:35, get your tickets at Cowlett'sBlackBears.com, and also tune in on KADO and YouTube. We'll be back in a little bit for post-game coverage right here on KADO and YouTube Live, and we'll chat with Wilson Weber when we come back from this break. You won't want to miss it, so stay tuned right here on KADO and YouTube. We'll be back shortly. Wilson, you comfy with that headset right now?
I can't hear anything with it, but
That's
good.
okay because I can hear you. Can
Perfect.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
or
that's
I can.
perfect.
I can sort of hear you, but it's not in the headset.
You know, I will project enough that you can still get it.
Perfect.
As Justin sets up our camera. Justin, we almost ready to go? All right, just trying to elevate a little bit. Well, welcome to the post-game show here on KEDO and on YouTube. The Black Bears unfortunately dropped this one to Wenatchee by a score of 6-5 in 9 innings. And I have with me the man of the hour, though, for the Black Bears, Wilson Weber. He went 2 for 3 with a walk, 4 ribbies, a 2-run shot, and a double. First and foremost, I mean, I don't think anybody was hitting the ball as well as you today on either side today. You hit a home run, a double that was almost a home run, and then a fly out to right. That was almost a home run. So, what did you eat today? That's my question. Like, did you do anything different today, or just getting out there with a lot of confidence?
Well, the only thing I actually did different was I slept on the way here, but
there we go.
I haven't been hitting that well in the last couple games, so I was excited to hopefully change that, and so I just saw the ball really well today and got my pitches, so it worked today.
Absolutely. How'd that one feel, the shot to left field? The first and the second one, really. Was there a difference? Because they seemed to almost have the same trajectory.
The first one I didn't think I hit that hard. I kind of hit on the handle, and then the wind, I knew it was blowing in to where the second one I didn't think was getting out. I was just like, well, hopefully it doesn't catch it. And as I was running first, I saw he was like back to the fence over and left. And I was like, oh, perfect. So that was pretty exciting, but I didn't think I had all of it.
There you go.
I hit it hard, but the wind kind of is killer here sometimes.
It is a killer here, but you beat the wind today. Your teammates have been beating him to left, too. It's weird. There's only been one home run to right, which seems like the only place to put it.
Yeah, it flies a little bit better that way.
Yeah, so the pitching, not as great as it usually is for the Black Bears today. A lot of walks, but the offense is really starting to click and come around. Do you really think that guys are starting to hit on all cylinders, and now you add Brock Mortons into that mix?
Exactly,
Do you think this is going to be a dangerous lineup moving forward?
Yeah, guys definitely getting warmed up, getting kind of get all together, and then getting all energy in the dugout, which definitely helps. So hopefully we'll be hitting some heat soon.
Oh, yeah, you guys were getting real excited in there. Who in the dugout would you say are like those couple of guys that really get everybody else going? Like once they start getting all hot and excited, you start to follow in.
I'd probably go with Burley, definitely, and then Chase, too. So
Chase, too?
They're both full of energy, so those guys are good.
I saw Burley standing up over there, like moving his arms in the air. No, he's definitely a lot of fun back there. All right, Wilson, thank you so much for coming on with me. Again, for taking time away from your adoring fans out there on the field. Wilson signed a couple of autographs. Let's take some pictures, and we're having a good time. So, Wilson, congratulations on your good game, and thanks for coming up here.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right, that's your Cowlitz Black Bears post-game show. It'll be on the Daily News tomorrow morning, or if you're probably watching on the Daily News right now on our YouTube page, and thanks for tuning in on KEDO. Again, final score, Cowlitz Black Bears 5. And at the Wenatchee Applesox 8, be sure to tune in tomorrow on KEDO and YouTube for game number 2 at 6:35. Or, hey, come join us at David's Story. You can get your tickets at CowlitzBlackBears.com. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Your final score, 8-5 Wenatchee over the Cowlitz Black Bears. But tomorrow, they'll have a chance to bounce back and rebound after this tough game. Have a great evening, and stay frosty. Take it easy.
Thanks for having me.
As always.
Nice and roomy back here.